Production Act to boost production of essential medicines in the U.S. and avoid having to rely on overseas suppliers.
That supply chain is going to start here in America. We're going to help assure American families have reliable access to medicines they need.
He's also directing his cabinet to develop an early warning system for supply chain risks, while also doubling down on work with global partners. This during the first meeting of his new Supply Chain Council. The founder of the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange is not allowed to leave the U.S. for now. That ruling just in from a federal judge after former Binance chief Changjiang Chao pleaded guilty to violating anti-money laundering laws. The judge says he has to stay in the U.S. until there's a ruling on whether he can return to the United Arab Emirates, where he's a citizen, while he awaits a sentencing hearing. America is listening to Fox News.
Testosterone levels are at an all-time low. Individual T levels decline 1% every year. Choq, CHOQ, is the new champion of natural testosterone boosters. Choq's main ingredient is clinically studied to naturally boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity and boost your daily energy with Choq's Male Vitality Stack. For a limited time, our listeners will get 30% off at CHOQ.com with promo code USA. CHOQ.com, code USA.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Oh, look out. Sorry. No, we're here. I swear we're at 303 with the Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. How's that for a short introduction? Look out. Hey, it's Monday. What do you expect? Stand by. Here we go.
On the day I was born.
Yeah, I'll give you a day, all right.
All gathered round.
How you doing? It's only me. It's only the Kimber. 303 on 106.3 with Pete Davis, sidekick, producer, and sports raconteur extraordinaire. And the mechanical mangler at the controls, Flounder. And the boys, it's the day after the long Thanksgiving weekend, back at work. And it's good to have you aboard. We love phone calls. If you would like to join us, let it rip Monday. Maybe talk about your Thanksgiving weekend, happiness, badness, goodness, and sadness, or whatever things going on, what you doing, what's up now, where's your head, and so forth. Our number is 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Pete Davis.
I think we need to talk about the elephant in the room.
All right, which one is that, sir?
The number one story over the Thanksgiving Day weekend.
Which was?
The halftime show of the Dallas Cowboys when 77-year-old Dolly Parton sauntered out in a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader outfit.
Yeah, with those shorts, actually.
Holding on to the stage like she was at a stripper pole.
Yeah.
And everybody going nuts about how good she looked.
Well, all right. I would not.
Rhino said he'd do it.
Well, both those, I think he and Tug and I think all three of them have like a thing. Their wives are saying, "Oh, yeah, you can have sex with that one if you ever run into her."
Free pass.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine bringing that up with a wife. Thank God I don't have one.
It was weird.
No, that was. No, you can't.
No. Without the wig and the makeup. And by the way, I've never seen her show that much cleavage.
Yeah, it's not. Honestly, it's not a thing for me.
What?
I think she has a. Right. Yeah. Or they cover my. Yeah, I think that I've heard that myself.
What, a corn on the cob? What does she have?
No, I don't know, but apparently she doesn't want to be known as a tattooed chick, or like a biker chick or something.
She looks great for 77. I'm telling you, but still, that was weird.
Yeah.
To watch.
And the go-go shorts there and whatever. It's just I
was afraid she was going to fall.
Yeah. It's not. Now I remember her. When I was a country western disc jockey, and she was singing with Porter Wagner in 1971 or 70 or 68 or whatever.
That's when I was. would have.
Yeah. Well, and again,
with Porter watching.
Yeah. Anyway, that was. Oh, by the way, just for fun, we got a million. We'll talk about Hamas and the hostages, and I want to know your Thanksgiving stuff and everything else. But first of all, just speaking of sports, just for fun, the Alabama football game, they were going to lose. I mean,
miracle.
It was like basically a Hail Mary thing at the last. Was it the last second, literally? Or?
It was last. Yeah. They're calling it the disaster in the pasture.
Yeah. Anyway, so I forgot who they're playing. It was
Auburn.
Auburn, of course, Alabama Auburn game, and Auburn was going to beat them. Were beating them.
Yeah.
Was beating them, and then all of a sudden they pulled out this crock play at the end. And by the way, it was an unbelievable catch. I mean, it was a really spectacular.
There's a little time afterwards. Yeah, he claimed they practiced that play. Okay.
Well, okay. But either way, I mean, it was a spectacular ending. But the funny part is, here, I think Flounder found this. Here is now the translation of the Japanese broadcasting team for the last play that turned around the entire game and gave Alabama.
Not the last play. I think Auburn threw a pick six after that.
Oh, that might have, yeah. But it was a play that made the difference in the game. I gave them the victory, basically. And here's how the Japanese broadcasting crew described the action as the guy's ready to catch a pass.
先ほどはオーバーテイク取りを見せた。さあ今度はどういうことになりますか。川端が見えてきてぴったりと斉藤だ。うわークラッシュ。うわーものすごいクラッシュ。とんでも
Tora! Bonsai!
Oh, you got to love it. Holy Crap at Sports. Pete Davis will be appearing today, as always, a little after 5 o'clock, and we'll have a little fun. Any offhand, I went to Holy Crap at Sports podcast coming.
I completely forgot about Fridays.
Well, yeah,
it was Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, it's weekend, yeah.
But a Saturday night, I'm sitting there going, I forgot to do something.
Well,
I was like, I forgot to. So I'll do one tonight. I'll do one later tonight.
And anything, well,
we're going to talk about the rivalry week. What a great weekend. As Peter Burns of ESPN said, in heaven, the rivalry games are every day.
If you are a fan of rivalry stuff,
college
of course,
football.
and my family, my daughter Sarah's husband Dan is a University of Michigan graduate.
I'm sorry.
Also a Michigan graduate in law school. So I mean, he is and they go to games. He takes Brady, my grandson, to the games. I mean, they in fact every year. Sarah, my daughter, and Dan will sit down and they'll say, okay, these are the games I'm going to, and these are the games you can do whatever you want. And they know they have a deal, where, I mean, because they know how important it is to the city. So those rivalry guys, and for Michigan to beat Ohio State.
Again,
oh my
3 in a row.
Well, and they're calling for the head now of Ohio State's coach.
Well, he's not.
Yeah, but he's still 11-1 or something. You don't fire a guy who's 11-1.
He's like 40-something and 0 against the rest of the Big Ten.
You can't fire him.
And 1 and 3, I think, against.
Yes, you gotta go now, man. But you can't fire a guy.
Yes, you can. Gus Malzahn beat Alabama 3 times or more, and they fired him.
Yeah, I know. Well, again, it just seems pretty stupid to me. Again, who's better? Who's going to be a better coach for that franchise?
Well, first of all, no one knew who he was when he just replaced the other guy.
Yeah,
he just showed up out of nowhere. He was an assistant.
Well,
so do we really know if he's that good of a coach, or is he just living off Ohio?
Who knows? I don't know. I don't know.
Anyone can coach Ohio State. They get the best players up there.
Yeah. If you got plus you have 100. They have double numbers. They have so many players. They have more than 100 players.
Oh.
There are 2 or 3 guys, number 4, number 2.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was like Alabama. Bear Bryant used to show up with 200 people on the sidelines. Those kids knew they were never going to play it down, really, but they could always say they played for Bear Bryant.
Yeah. I know. It's
which is the reason, Bobby Dodd and Georgia Tech, the dumbest decision ever, got out of the SEC because they thought they were paying too much homage to Bear Bryant, and they were right.
Yeah, they were right. 310, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Okay, a quick thing. We have all kinds of newsy stuff, and I got a screaming problem with my freaking phone. I made the mistake of accepting the updates. When you get a message, do you get those on your phone?
You have to take them.
You have to take them?
You have to take them, because to keep people from hacking into your phone.
I know. Well, I did, and sure enough, nothing works now. I mean, I'm texting these guys saying, well, honestly, I could go on for a very long time. I won't. I'll talk more about it a little bit later on. But first of all, Thanksgiving weekend.
Very restful, very peaceful. Lots of football, lots of food. Made my mama's recipe and hang out with some friends, and it was just a...
Mom's recipe for what?
dressing and cranberry salad.
Oh, cranberry salad.
Yeah, it's basically got oranges and pecans and cranberry and a little sugar and cherry Jello.
Oh, God.
But I'm telling you, it's the only way you can eat cranberry.
I'm not. Well, I wouldn't eat cranberries or fruit salad.
You would this? Well, really? You don't like?
No. I mean, I love fruit. I mean, if you give me a bowl of peaches or a watermelon, or I love melon. I love cantaloupe and honeydew.
Love the melons.
No, I do. I love the melons. Cantaloupe and honeydew and watermelon and all this stuff. And I do like fruit. I like pears.
You would like my cranberry salad.
Well, all right. We'll have to try it one time. Anyway, and a lot of football and.
All football. I almost to the point of too much.
Yeah. And did you have a Christmas parades? I think you might have mentioned. Or did you?
I thought there was a Christmas parade at one of the little towns up there, and I thought it would be funny if you just drive up and get in the back of it and see if they'll let you just try.
Just wave out your window.
Just wave at everybody. That's actually an hour away on a country highway. That's one of the funnest highways you'll ever drive. It's dangerous.
I miss my days going when I had my Harleys and stuff. I would go up every weekend. I'd go up all those roads, and
it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And Flounder with Miss Veronica, and I know you had family. Oh, really? Oh, outstanding. And there you are, 312. And by the way, yesterday, I had a double fantastic period off. I not only got to play with other people's horses up at the stable to take my videos, I also hit golf balls. There you are. Yesterday I went out at 44 degrees and the rain, and there were still 20 people out there with me hitting balls. But for the weekend, it wasn't bad. No, it was busy, but not. I didn't have to wait to find a place to hit. But it was not crowded, but busy. People are there. Anyway, so there you are. And I listened to Christine in my car and got some nice videos and goofed around and had a very nice time. So there you go. 313 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Let it rip Monday. Hey, what?
It was a sweet potato free weekend, which is the best.
And what is sweet potatoes popping up now for what? Is that now a thing? I hate sweet potatoes.
It's just potatoes are not supposed to be sweet.
No, lots of butter and gravy, and you can't go wrong. All right, look out, 313, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, right here. Here you go.
Morning Extra with Todd, Rhino, and Los.
Jerome Powell says this fiscal path, $33 trillion in debt, $50 trillion in debt by 2030. We can't be on this path and be a healthy nation. I despise these liars and these thieves of ours and our kids' future. They've raped and pillaged America. They nor their families will suffer because of their poor decision, but ours will.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m., only on Extra 106.3.
Georgia Tech men's basketball is ushering in a new era under the leadership of their new head coach and NBA great Damon Stoudemire. Help Coach Stoudemire return the thrill to the Thriller Dome in McCamish Pavilion. ACC conference play tips off with a big-time game presented by Invesco QQQ against the nationally ranked Duke Blue Devils on December 2nd at 2:15 p.m. Although the tickets are selling out fast, some great seats are still available. To purchase tickets and get more information, please visit ramblinrec.com. Sting 'em.
Hey, it's Lowe's here with my real estate expert, Rhonda Duffy of Duffy Realty of Atlanta. Rhonda, how has Duffy made the buying and selling process this efficient without overcharging your clients?
When you list your home with Duffy Realty, you're paying an unheard of listing commission of 0.0088 of the sales price versus the ridiculous 6% listing commission. If there's no buyer's agent, there's no buyer's agent's commission, so you keep more money in your pocket. We do the same marketing with more rights and proven results. You can sell at an even higher price. Sell, rent, or lease purchase at the same time. The option is your choice. You can have transparent communication between all parties. That equals control of your transaction. And we have skilled negotiation with over 42,000 successfully closed homes. If you want an option to make more money and ask a high price, Duffy Realty.
If you're buying or selling a home, do it on your terms and save the most money with Duffy Realty. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com. Going to a big football game? Walking around all day? Then you'll want comfortable shoes. Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Atlanta stores. Score a touchdown with a new pair of ultra-comfortable running or walking shoes. Come to the New Balance Atlanta stores. I'm telling you, we'll make sure you have the perfect fit and we'll treat you like the starting QB. Visit the New Balance Atlanta stores in North Point, Sandy Springs, Toco Hills, and across from the Mall of Georgia. New Balance Atlanta. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today.
The biggest election coverage in the South from Atlanta's only true conservative voice. As the election draws closer and things get heated, Extra 106.3 will bring you the voices you know and trust to sort through the muck.
The Democrats and the media are right about this. Republicans, they have the best ideas, but they can't govern.
And stream our coverage all day from anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
Hey, sing it, Taylor.
There's nothing in my brain. That's what people say.
Taylor Swift, yeah. Yeah. And you got to give the girl credit, you know. I mean, she's a force. And there's got to be a reason. 2014, this was the day in 2014. Taylor was number 1 on the album chart with her 5th studio album, 1989. The U.S. sales figure from the debut week was the highest of any album in 15 years, and 89 became the best-selling album of 2014. Sold over 8 million copies worldwide. That's from Taylor Swift. She's in the news now every day. They talk about apparently the woman who died at her concert because it was 150 degrees and she collapsed and died. She had her whole family be part of her last concert was there. There's stories in the news about Travis Kelce doesn't play as well when she's not in the city. I mean,
she flew in to see him and all this.
He just set a record. He's the first Kansas City Chief ever to have 1,000 receptions or something.
Really?
Yeah, it's some big record. But again, they said, well, he doesn't play as well when she's. I mean, every day there's a new because she started dating him. Every day now they have to have a Taylor Swift story in the news. It's unbelievable. In fact, I don't care. I mean, I'm happy for her.
There's supposedly a Slovakian actress or model that's just hotter than heck, and she's after him now. She thinks he's a hunk, and she's letting it be known on social media.
Well, this could be very interesting.
Yeah.
Birthdays include Caroline Kennedy, 66 years old today, or is that an 8? I can't see. I got to get.
She has to be 66.
66. Yeah. Caroline Kennedy was Neil Diamond's inspiration for what we can all agree is Sweet Caroline.
I guess, which is most over.
Yeah.
Other teams stop it. That's a Red Sox song.
Yeah.
Everybody else needs to stop playing.
Yeah, you can. That's right.
Don't steal other people's. Get your own.
Yeah. Yeah. And on this day in history, TV show star 1980, Bosom Buddies, featuring Flounders guy writes it this way: Bosom Buddies in 1980, featuring superstar Peter Scolari and some guy named Tom Hanks. Yeah. Debuted on ABC 1980.
It wasn't Donna Dixon, the girl in it, who later became Dan Aykroyd's wife.
Yeah, she was in the other one. Was it Beverly Hillbillies? Was it or no?
No.
What was she in? Oh, she was in the movie. That one movie made her famous.
The Spies. The Spies Like Us. Yeah, I think she was in there.
She's a beautiful woman.
By the way, I have to apologize.
What'd you do?
The annual event happened over the weekend. I was going through the Christmas boxes and I found the Heinz Spotted Dick.
Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, there will not be a Christmas without the Heinz Spotted Dick.
That's true.
And by the way, that's a real thing. You might better now explain to the little people exactly what you're talking about, because that is a thing, and it's actually written there in big letters on the can.
Spotted Dick is an English Christmas thing, basically. It's a sponge cake, whatever that is, with black currants shoved in it, which are, I guess, tiny raisins of some sort or whatever.
Figs or something like that.
Something like that. And it's supposed to be delicious. In fact, the first time I ever ordered it and got it, I brought it in on the morning show, and Tom Hughes was doing the morning show. And Tom is an Anglophile. Him and his wife go to England 2 or 3 times a year. He loves it. Yeah. And I held this up and go, look at this. Have you ever had Spotted Dick? And he goes, that's great. My wife loves Spotted Dick.
Well, there you are.
And everybody in the room just went, what?
You got to appreciate a woman who acknowledges, if it's okay with you, it's okay with me, honey.
Everybody's got, a little penicillin, wipe that out.
Yeah, a little something there. I love it. 321.
You want me to bring some in? I got a can.
No, it's
we'll
good.
Try
bring
it on the air.
Flounder all you want, buddy. Just bring
I'll bring it in. We'll eat it.
The hell in there. 321 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and actual newsy stuff here. And by the way, let's see. We have a little, not really a contest, but something that might pique your interest later.
All right.
There's a list out of the greatest mafia movies. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. Well, it's missing 4 that I have that ought to be on there, and there's 3 on there that I don't think ought to be on there at all. Anyway, so we'll talk about it. Yeah, I have 4 that I would put on there.
And the number one's not the number one.
No, they got them reversed. 1 is 3 and 3 is 1 and whatever. Anyway, so we'll do this. And you can, off the top of your head, even if you're not a gangster mafia movie fan, the 3 automatically you would be talking about. Anyway, and by the way, also, is there a difference between a mafia movie and a gangster movie? The mafia is Italian.
In fact, one of these, American Gangster with Denzel Washington, that's not an Italian movie, is it?
In fact, half of these are not mafia, but they're gangsters. Yeah.
He's not good. Not a good movie.
No, it's not good. Anyway, 322. Anyway, we'll talk some more about that, too. Also, that's my phone thing. I swear, why do they do this? It just makes me so freaking mad. We'll do a newsy thing. There's going to be another hostage round coming up. 4th round of hostage releases is apparently underway. No fighting with Hamas and Israel for another 2 days, I think, is the latest. And by the way... I mean, this is sort of starting to make me mad. It's now they're debating. They're debating numbers. Well, if it's 3 to 1. It's a 3-to-1 ratio. If Hamas releases 1 hostage, Israel has to release 3. Okay, it's 3 to 1 in favor of the bad guys. They release 1. Israel has to release 3. So and now they're arguing. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do. You release 60, and we'll release 180. And they said, no. Let's do 20. He said, well, no. If you do 20, then we got to do 6. So they're arguing over the. I mean, it reminds me of the Vietnam peace talks.
Yeah.
Where they're debating how many people sit at whether the table was round or square, and how many people are. I mean, it's just nonsense. And incidentally, if they release them all, then here goes we go back to war again. So I mean, it's just getting ridiculous. It's started making me. I'm offended by it.
So Israel's releasing terrorists.
Right.
To get innocent people back. How is that an exchange?
Yeah. And again, before, and by the way, and President Joe Satan himself has stepped in it again, proving he's a freaking coward and an empty vessel. We'll get to that in a second. But speaking of the way the hostages were released, including that 4-year-old girl, a joint American and Israeli citizenship. And there's been a lot of reaction to the Prime Minister or President, I don't know what you call it in Ireland, Prime Minister of Ireland?
President of Ireland,
I think, who said when the little girl was released, he released a statement applauding and saying, a little girl was lost and now she's found. She wasn't lost and found. She was kidnapped by murdering terrorists. I mean, to whitewash this and make it some sort of a holy, thank you, Hamas, for bringing the happiness of a little girl's joy back to her family after she watched her parents being murdered. I mean, found and now lost and now she's found. That's how you describe what's going on with this? It's unbelievable.
So Biden basically has apologized for calling out a lie Hamas was putting out, and the pro-Hamas terrorist supporters in the United States who don't even belong here in the first place and never should have been allowed in. He apologized to them?
Well, here's what he said. He had a meeting. He issued now apologies to several prominent Hamas leaders. He says, I have, this is the Kimmer reporting on it.
Awesome.
I have no notion that the Palestinians are telling this. Originally, during a press conference a few days ago, he said, I have no notion that the Palestinians are telling the truth about how many people are killed. I'm sure innocents have been killed, and it's a huge price of waging war. Okay, that was what he said several days ago. Then he met with 5 Muslim Hamas lovers, and during the meeting, he listened to the Hamas lovers describe people they knew who were directly impacted by the conflict. He said, golly, I'm so sorry, I'm disappointed in myself, Biden told the terrorist to the Washington Post. He said he showed empathy to the Hamas murderers and the Palestinians, and apparently hugged one of the participants at the end of the meeting. Hamas-controlled Ministry of Health says more than 14,000 Palestinians have been killed, women and children included. Democrats are publicly disagreeing with President Satan's response about the war. And he's basically apologized. He said, well, originally I said we can't trust those Palestinians and Hamas to tell the truth about how many people are killed. And then he apologized for saying that. He apologized to Muslims for saying, oh, my golly, I kind of blackballed you Muslim people by saying Hamas was over-exaggerating, and I should have taken them at their word. But your president has basically said, I'm so sorry that I misjudged the truthfulness of Hamas, and I should not have offended Hamas by denying their accuracy of the numbers of people killed. That's what he said. I mean, he apologized.
He's not my president. I'm sorry. He's a coward.
He said, I'm sorry, I'm disappointed in myself. Unquote.
Well, join the rest of us.
My God. I mean, you can't make this up.
He was the last person left.
There's nothing in the shirt. He's an empty vessel. I mean, literally, he's got no balls. The man. I mean, how could you? I can't believe it. He had the opportunity to say, "Hey, wait, you guys. We know these people are slaughtering devilish terrorists. We can't trust anything they say. So don't come to me complaining that you don't think those numbers are right. Then go find out yourself." I mean, he should have sent them packing.
After the peace treaty in 1938, where what's-his-face came back waving the peace in our time, Chamberlain, peace in our time, and then
Hitler's not going to do anything wrong.
Went into Czechoslovakia anyway and took the Sudetenland and basically took over the whole country. Yeah. Did you think FDR would have said something nasty about the Nazis and then apologized?
Yeah. Oh, golly, I'm so sorry I offended you Nazis for saying you weren't going to take any territory. That's exactly what it would have been. If FDR had said, oh, golly, I know you invaded Czechoslovakia, but I didn't mean to call you Nazis' names. I mean, I said we can't trust you, but I'm so sorry that I should have had more respect. Right. This is unbelievable. He apologized for condemning Hamas for murdering the North. And he said, well, I'm so sorry, I'm disappointed in myself. Unquote. I can't believe it. Anyway. So that's your president. Now, the good news is that among the hostages who are released is the 4-year-old American girl, Abigail Edan, and she's been reunited with her family. But this is a horrible story. She was taken as a hostage after her family was murdered, both her parents. She was held for 49 days. She was the youngest released yesterday, and the first American as part of the release is going to go on another couple of days. She's reunited with her family at an Air Force base near Tel Aviv. She has dual U.S.-Israeli citizenship, and President Beelzebub has taken a personal interest in that and then said, oh, thank God she's home. I wish I were there to hold her. Oh, my God, you freaking pervert. I wish I was there to hold her. I'll bet and sniff her hair. Oh, Jilly and I are with so many Americans praying for the fact that she's going to be all right. Yeah, she was a symbol of the massacre after she had seen her parents, Rose and Smadar, murdered in front of her. Her 2 older brothers hid in a wardrobe for 14 hours and managed to survive. She was found wandering around covered in her father's blood. A neighbor took her to his house. He later left the house to fight the terrorists. When he got back, his wife was dead. His 3 are gone. His 3 children were also disappeared as hostages. Yeah, let's apologize to Hamas. Good grief. 3:30, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's Monday. Boy, we got more coming up, too. Look out.
With international conflicts running hot and Israel at war, you can trust Extra 106.3 to bring you the latest breaking news throughout the day and the conservative voices you trust for all the latest.
Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anybody who supports the terrorist attack on Israel should be released from this country and sent away.
Israel at war, with live updates all day.
If 9/11 happened to us again today, I wonder what the hell the reaction would be.
From Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
It's the Subaru Share the Love event. So put a little love in your heart this holiday season at Subaru of Gwinnett. You're going to love the full line of new Subarus in stock now. From the Outback and Forester to the Legacy, Crosstrek, and BRZ. Each Subaru built to superior safety standards to protect your loved ones. You know, it's a fact. Subaru owners show a lot of love, especially to the environment and those in need. So right now, during the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charities with any new Subaru lease or purchase. Visit Subaru of Gwinnett for complete details and log on to SubaruofGwinnett.com for amazing lease and financing offers on all new Subaru models. This holiday season, drive a Subaru and share the love, and Subaru will pay it forward with a $250 donation to your choice of 5 charities. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard, Duluth. Subaru will donate $250 to purchaser or lessee selected national and hometown charities. Log on to Subaru.com/share or call 678-475-3500 for details.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves. And choosing Truist One Checking. No overdraft fees. Lots of perks you can cheer for. And when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Branch count is on May 31st, 2023. Atlanta Metro Area. Truist Bank member FDIC.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Hamilton.
And I'm Brian Finner, and here to talk to you about something serious.
Did you know that nearly 40,000 kids in Georgia try to commit suicide every year? As a parent, I can't think of anything worse than a kid that thinks there is no hope.
There's a lot of pressure on young athletes, and we need to make sure we let them know it's okay to not be okay, and even more okay to seek out help if they need it.
So we need to talk to our kids about how they're doing and how their friends are doing. We need to make sure they can talk to us and that there's always hope.
We need to teach them to leave stuff on the field, and if they can't, if it's too much, they need to know there is help.
Suicide prevention starts with all of us.
If you know anyone that's in distress, call 988 for assistance or go to PreventSuicideGA.org. Again, dial 988 or visit PreventSuicideGA.org.
We've got to take care of ourselves and our kids, and hope changes everything.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1, find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2, have a plan to get there. Step 3, make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
The White House wants you to think our financial system is stable, but the truth is recent data from the FDIC reveals another 53 banks could soon collapse, just like Silicon Valley Bank. This could crush the savings of millions of Americans, sending shockwaves through the economy. Hi, I'm Stephen K. Bannon, former chief strategist to President Trump. And today, I want to urge you to diversify your IRA or 401k into a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group. Precious metals have 5,000 years of history in preserving wealth, making them one of the best places for your retirement savings. To find out more, get a free info kit on gold IRAs from Birch Gold Group by texting the word HEDGE to 989898. Birch Gold is the only gold company I trust. So text HEDGE to the number 989898. That's HEDGE to 989898 to get your free info kit. There's no obligation or purchase required.
The Kimmer Show, live until 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3. And start your day the right way tomorrow morning with the Morning Extra from 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3.
All right, look out. Here we go. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 335.
almost here and the time is right for rising in the street, boy.
This is a funny song.
Great.
Yeah. The Stones.
Sure it's not Led Zeppelin?
Could have been Dave Clark 5. The Stones on this day in 2003. Turned out the figures released by Rolling Stones showed that the band had grossed about $200 million from their 2002 40 Licks World Tour. $200 million. The report showed this on 2003. The report came out. The report showed they had made $1 billion from 1989 to 2002 from royalties, album sales, and tour revenue. $1 billion.
There used to be a joke that their tour would be sponsored by AARP. Guess who's sponsoring next year's tour?
AARP. Well, they got to. I mean, they're 80. My God. Our birthdays include Michael Vartan. Michael Vartan is 55. He played Michael Vaughn on Alias, and he dated Jennifer Garner while they were on the show together, and then awkwardly had to do love scenes with her on the show after she dumped him for Ben Affleck.
Oh, that's awkward.
Wow.
Oh, imagine showing up for work every day to do that.
Oh, that's got to be bad. It's got to be really bad there. And on this day in history, in God, my eyes, I've got to get the thing here. 1995, America Online purged the word breast from its system. AOL took the word breast out of the system in order to get rid of obscene or vulgar language, unquote. Angry breast cancer survivors who happened to use AOL said, wait, whoa, what are you talking about? A week later said, okay, we'll bring it back. But they actually got rid of the word breast. I mean, and that was in 1995.
Wow.
Not exactly today's wokeness. Incidentally, a couple things. I'm just watching a headline here a moment ago. It's Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And here's our number, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Pete's got a complaint for us here in a second concerning Thanksgiving stuff. But also, I was watching a headline here a moment ago, checking up on the news. There have been 74 attacks on American forces in the Middle East since October 17th. Okay, a couple weeks after the Hamas slaughter, after America got involved, sent ships over and stuff like that. Since October 17th, American troops in the Middle East have been attacked 74 times. Here's my question. Why are the people who attacked them still on the earth? Mm-hmm. I know our response is strategic, and they go after an ammunitions dump maybe or something they think about. It might be a headquarters. I don't get this proportional response crap. How can you dare attack American forces 74 times in a month? That's twice a day, basically.
No one else would put up with that.
Oh, my God.
No one else puts up with that.
You think Trump would sit there and say, oh, Lord. Well, he's afraid of offending the Muslims.
No one had ever heard of the Houthis before they started doing this. If Trump was president, we'd never hear of him again.
Yeah. Now, by the way, they're saying the administration thinks now, well, we think there are Somali pirates trying to board that ship. We don't think it's we think it's maybe the pirates are responsible. Well, we're talking about the attacks by Iran, sponsored attacks on America.
You know how you get rid of pirates?
Yeah.
Like the Romans did. Yeah. You hunt them down to their bases and you kill them all.
That's right. And you make sure that everybody knows the same what you're doing too. You leave one guy to say, hey, don't forget to tell your friends.
Always leave one alive
the Pershing,
to run
man.
home.
Then Pershing stuffed. He took all the bad guys and stuffed them full of pig guts and brains, and stuff out of pork, and then he killed all of them except one guy. Said, "Oh, now go tell your friends what you just saw, because they're all going to hell." Stuffed them full of bacon or something. It's like what 1926 or I don't know. 1919?
No, that's 1890s. Wasn't it?
Was it
Spanish-American War?
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Sounded like a pretty good idea at the time. Yeah. It seemed to work for a while, too. Anyway, 339, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Oh, also, tell us about this food business. We have someone contacted us.
James had a complaint.
All right, sir.
James says, if I come over to your house for Thanksgiving, and I dig into some mac and cheese, and peas come out, everybody in the house is going to die. The dog, too.
Oh, my. Somebody put peas
Who
in
would
mac
put
and cheese?
Peas in mac and cheese.
Peas don't go in anything. I'm sorry.
You're right.
I mean, they just don't.
They sit them by themselves and look at them, but don't.
Well, on the other hand, I guess I'm trying to think of what.
Now, we're talking green peas, English peas, not black-eyed peas.
No. You're regular green
but
peas.
Black-eyed peas don't belong in mac and cheese
Your
either.
bird's eye black-eyed pea. I mean, green. Your bird's eye green peas.
Has created a cheeseburger with mac and cheese stuffed in it. Would you eat that?
Oh, I would eat that.
Yeah, I'd eat that.
It's a cheeseburger, yeah. And by the way, the best way to do, and my mother used to make the best mac and cheese because she would bake it so that there was about a 2-inch thick crust.
Oh, yeah.
Blackened and thick and almost crispy and then gooey underneath it where it was, it's like its own sandwich.
You know who does it? Chick-fil-A does it like that.
They do? Oh.
Yeah. By the way, they're building a Whataburger down here by the Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, you told me that.
A Whataburger.
A Whataburger. That's supposed to be the good one, right?
Yeah, it is good. I had it once, and I liked it.
The Whataburger. What's the other one? There's another.
In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
That's an L.A. thing. This is a Texas thing.
Yeah. That's supposed to be fantastic.
Shannon Burke loves it and all that. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Senator Rand Paul, of all people, put this out. The Thanksgiving dinner thing, there's 9 choices here. One of them's got to go.
All right.
Flounder, one of them's got to go.
Here we go.
You have to tell Veronica that not going to be making one of these next year.
She does all the side dishes, so.
Excuse me?
No, hello.
Oh, you mean the food?
Yeah. Food. Side dishes.
Not side peas.
Not side pieces.
Okay. You're the one who said it.
I said side.
All right, turkey.
Yeah. Well, you can't.
I love turkey.
Yeah.
I got a boar's head, a turkey breast.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it was wonderful.
Have you guys ever done a ham smoked?
Oh, yeah.
It's not. I don't
I've
know.
never done one.
It was
I've had
delicious.
What's this, American Pie? What do you mean, done one? You know, come to think of it. Anyway.
Honey, it's time for lunch. I'm coming.
You didn't.
She was coming to lunch.
I don't know if I want to finish this now. Okay, we all decide turkey stays.
Yes.
All right, absolutely.
Stuffing.
Well, of course.
You mean go?
No, you can't have
stuffing's
turkey without stuffing.
First of all, this is the South.
Stay.
It's called dressing.
Well,
dressing.
Yeah, dressing. I would call
dressing.
it dressing.
I love
even in the
dressing.
north. We always called it dressing where I grew up too.
Right. Yeah, my mom was not big on salmonella, so she never put anything inside the turkey.
Oh,
there.
that's
cranberry sauce.
Bye.
I could leave it.
Out of the can, it's bad. If it's got like little rivets on the side of it, little swirls. But I make it with the oranges and the cherry jello and the pecans, and it's delicious.
That's
delicious.
Cranberry sauce.
Green bean casserole.
That's out too.
That's out.
No, I like the green bean.
It depends who makes it. Depends who makes it.
Well, I've had it before, and people have given it to me for things. If it's got a lot of kind of the bread stuff in it, where it's not just beans. If it's really kind of a thick, almost a pasty.
Yeah, like the top has a breading almost.
Yeah. That that's fine. Put a little salt and yeah.
All right, bread.
Well, got to have bread. I think rolls with
Okay.
gravy. You have to have gravy on your Thanksgiving table, don't you?
Well, gravy's not part of it, but everyone has to have it.
Yeah.
McCormick's brown gravy is good. And for the first time, I tried the little Heinz roasted turkey gravy in the jar. That's pretty good.
I get the brown gravy in those Heinz jars, and I'm telling you, it's spectacular.
It's
when you don't feel
a
like
little
making
thin,
it yourself, yeah.
But it only takes a second to make it.
It's not thin, but the brown gravy.
I love the McCormick's brown, and the Pioneer, and all that good stuff over there.
Yeah.
But here, as anybody knows where I can get the old-fashioned dinner rolls, the old like Sunbeam had, where it looks like a little mushroom.
Yeah.
You can't find those anywhere.
Good luck. Yeah, I don't know.
They're
just like the little dinner rolls that come in packets. That's what we had this weekend.
Yeah, but they look more like what you get when you go to Crystal's and the hamburger bun.
Yeah, totally.
No. It's they look like mushrooms, and they got little lines on the top where you can cut it and put the butter in.
Yeah.
And Sunbeam used to make it.
Well, they're layered. They're layered biscuits now. You have to look in the biscuit aisle.
No, that's not. No, they're in the bread aisle, but they're not there.
Yeah,
I can't find them.
I agree. I went looking for that very thing from the old days, and I couldn't.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
Okay, mashed taters. You gotta have the mashed potatoes. Come on. Sweet potato casserole.
No.
Yeah, that's
no
out.
Sweet potatoes.
Yeah, no sweet potato. And everyone I've ever known, from my great grandmother to my great aunts to all my girlfriends and everything, all said, "Well, you haven't tried mine."
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Yes,
I'm not going.
Yes,
to
I have.
If it's got sweet potatoes in it, I've tried it.
I've tried it, and I was born 10 miles from the sweet potato capital of the world.
Oh boy,
Vardaman, Mississippi claims that. I don't know why anybody would claim that.
Claim that, no.
Pumpkin pie.
No.
Get right out.
Yeah.
Pumpkin pie. And finally, the Fed.
The what?
The Fed.
What's the Fed?
The Fed, the bank, the Fed.
Feed the Fed?
See, it's Senator Rand Paul, so he had to put some political thing about the Fed. He's been trying to get rid of the Fed for several decades.
We'll get rid of them, too.
Yeah.
And by the way, speaking of pumpkin, I went to the store today. I've discovered that I suddenly, when I make my coffee, I have 1 mug of coffee in the morning. That's it. I don't drink coffee, but I have it in the morning. And I put a lot milk in there with a lot of sugar and milk. And I make the coffee strong, then I water the hell of it with sugar and milk. And I've decided I really like Coffee Mate, the liquid Coffee Mate in there as well. I used to the little containers, little cup, little teeny cups. And so I went to the store to buy an actual, like a pint or a quart of the liquid Coffee Mate. I should have taken a picture. I promise you, they had 15 flavors of Coffee Mate liquid. They had pumpkin flavored. They had pumpkin spice. They had vanilla. They had Frank. I mean, honest to God, and not the regular. They didn't have the regular old-fashioned Coffee Mate. Just plain Coffee Mate, not anywhere to be found.
It's America.
They must have had 15 freaking different flavors of stuff. I don't want mocha.
What are you, Russian? You just want
Hazelnut in my
one?
freaking coffee.
You want commie flavored?
I want
Coffee Mate?
American flavored. I don't want that commie
That's
stuff.
why you have 15 flavors. It's America.
My God.
Do we have time to talk about it? Do we have to wait to the next? Should we wait to the next?
Well, it's 3:40.
This is a short break. We're good. We can take them.
We got a phone call here.
Oh, excellent. Well, here we
It
go.
is Wes.
Wes, you're on the radio. Happy Monday, sir. How's it going? What's up?
Hey, happy late Thanksgiving.
Thank you, sir.
Pete, I got to argue with you. You got to have cranberries shaped like a can. That's just part of Thanksgiving.
When it comes out of the can, a big whoomp, and it's got the little ridges on it.
Disgusting. The only thing that should have ridges is ruffles.
I heard you say that on your sports show the other day. I was like, I completely disagree. And also, I come from a family of sweet potato farmers.
Oh gosh.
So.
Well, sorry about that.
you
we don't
poor
want,
bastard.
We don't want to put them out of business. We're just saying we don't like what they grow.
Damn yams.
Sorry about that. Yeah, is that a yam? It's a sweet potato.
No, it's the yam.
Hey, everybody has their preferences. I get it. I just thought it was funny that like my dad always said, when you sit down at a table with a sweet potato farmer, you better at least have one on your plate.
Yeah, there you go. I would think so. I would do that out of politeness, and I would enjoy. I put a lot of salt and butter on it, and I'd be fine.
Yams are from Africa.
Yeah,
sweet potatoes are from North America.
Love the show, guys.
Thanks, Wes.
Y'all take care and
Thanks,
have
man.
a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much. 347, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, the 106.3.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
Biden's 81.
Yeah.
He's already living on borrowed time. Really? I mean, think about it.
It's a grueling job, both mentally and physically. This man can't do the job. He's proven to us every single day that he can't do the job. Things are going to get worse.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m., only on Extra 106.3.
You know what? It's here, and it's cold. It's called winter. Is your furnace ready to make sure that your house and your family's health is going to be where you want it to be this winter? Is your furnace ready to make sure you're warm inside and you keep the cold weather outside? Well, if you're not sure, you need to talk to the folks at Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation locally owned HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and it's still that way today. Give Central a call at 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. Central Heating and Air Conditioning can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products, carrier warranty, carrier peace of mind. Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert since 1947. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com. That's 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
I think it's time to get rid of that old, ugly garage door.
Get rid of it? All it needs is a quick repair. Where's my duct tape and WD-40?
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons Garage and Entry Doors, and let us be the ones to tell you if you need a repair or a replacement. If you have a wooden or uninsulated steel door, a replacement will always pay for itself with energy savings. But if your door is insulated and not very old, put down the duct tape and let us come out to service your door the right way. Head to allfourseasonsgarages.com or give us a call today.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3 with daily commentary you'll hear throughout the day. And he's on live with the Morning Extra every Tuesday morning at 7:30. Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3. And catch all of Neil's commentary on the Extra app.
Oh, my goodness. We're ready. 350. How's it going? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And this is In Excess. And a rather bizarre note in history on this day. 1997, a fan brought the funeral of In Excess singer Michael Hudgens to a standstill when the fan at the funeral tried to launch himself from a 20-foot high balcony with a cord around his neck. At the funeral. The cops caught him, thank God, and took him away to the shrink's office.
I heard he was well hung.
He was hung all right. Holy moly. Jeez. Wow.
I can't live without you, Michael.
Yeah, well, golly. And let's see. Do we have a birthday here? I got a couple of birthdays here. What was I going to do? I don't know what I was going to do.
Birthdays.
Here we go. Elizabeth Marvell is 54. You may not know the name. She played President Keene on Homeland. And she was a presidential candidate Heather Dunbar on House of Cards.
Never saw either one.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, but she's...
I did watch some of Homeland, so I can...
No, I enjoyed
it. It was
that.
good.
I enjoyed Homeland.
I
liked Homeland. I liked Homeland quite a bit. In fact, I think I have the final 2 episodes on my DVR thing.
Good.
And on this day in history... what was I going to do? I guess we'll do this one here. On this day in history, 1985, Steven Spielberg married Amy Irving. They divorced 4 years and 1 child later, and her prenuptial agreement netted her $100 million.
That's why you didn't see much of Amy after that.
Wow, Amy is doing just fine, ladies and gentlemen.
Going to the beach. Good night, everybody.
Holy gamamoni. Yowie.
She was a good actress, too.
Yeah, she did that, played the Jewish girl, tried as the matchmaker or something, I think. I forgot. Wasn't that her? I can't remember that things. Anyway, how you doing? 352, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Here's a number, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. We got newsy stuff, but talking about Satan Christmas trees, stuff like that. First of all, a couple of personal things. I haven't talked about my phone thing yet. I just hate everything about... I ruined my whole morning. I mean, my last night, and all of a sudden I'm trying to text people. I almost missed my granddaughter now has access to a phone to be able to communicate once in a while with Grandpa and with Gramps, that's me, and stuff like that. And I didn't know she had texted me because my announcement, what do you call it? My notification thing was all screwed up, but it wasn't in the notification issue. I went through all the settings and it wasn't in there. And I even went on YouTube. I'll talk about it later. Hold on.
Okay.
A couple of TV things. First of all, the new series of the old show, Fargo.
Yes.
The new. When I watched the first, literally the first 3 minutes, I said, "Oh God, this is kind of annoying," because it was kind of a riot, and I didn't know who was doing what, and it was discombobulated, and it was frantic, and I said, "What a way to start!" I said, "Oh, I don't like that."
Those young people doing.
Well, let me tell you, by the end of the 2 episodes, this is going to be a great series.
It really is.
This is going to be a really great series on FX. Fargo.
John Hamm. I'm telling you.
If you haven't seen it, the spoiler a little bit, when he's an old-fashioned rancher and, a real tough guy American. The man runs the house.
Constitutionalist.
Oh, my God. And the scene with his son, telling his son how to behave with his wife. And I'll teach you a lesson. What do you mean, Dad? Boom, wham. And anyway, I will tell you. But it's going to be a great series. It sounds like it's going to be a great series. And I didn't know that they could top it, but I think it's going to be great. And secondly, on TV, they're going to do Shogun. Bringing back Shogun.
I loved Shogun when I was a kid.
Now, that was that 80? Had to be 88?
No, 70s.
70? Was it?
I'll look it up. I think it was Richard Chamberlain, the king of the miniseries.
Yeah. Dr. Kildare, remember on TV?
No, I don't remember Dr.
Oh,
Kildare.
you're not old enough. He was Dr. Kildare on TV. And, of course, there was a movie, Dr. Kildare, with a famous actor. I can't remember. Anyway.
1980. It's right there on it.
Yeah. And now who's in it? I didn't even know who's in it. Are there any famous actors in it?
Of the old Shogun?
No, the new one.
The new one. Well, I'll look it up.
I don't remember. I saw the preview for it, but I don't remember.
The Japanese actor, you'll recognize him, but you won't know his name.
Yeah. But who's the American star that gets captured by the pirates or whatever it is?
Cosmo Jarvis. Never heard of him.
No. Well, maybe that's fine.
It looks like it's a bunch of no names on this.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I totally changed my mind after the first 5 minutes of watching the first show of Fargo. I mean, it's going to be great.
And it's almost like the movie. She's sitting.
It's a kidnapping. And,
stuff's happening. Yeah.
I mean, and I thought, why would they do that? I mean, why make so many things familiar?
Homage. I almost thought they were doing an updated version of it, but they're not.
No, they're not. Clearly, anyway, it's going to be a great show if you haven't watched it.
I love. There's one point where John Hamm is out there in a hot tub, butt naked, and two FBI agents show up, and he says something about freedom, and the female FBI agent, that word freedom, I hear it a lot out here. It's North Dakota. I hear it a lot out here, and he basically schools her.
Yeah,
basically said, you know what you hear about out here. If I have to explain what the word freedom means, then you're worthless.
It's great script. It's great dialogue. The acting is, and that girl who plays the lead, I love her.
Who? I never heard of her.
I've seen her. I think I've seen her. So I should have looked her up to talk about this.
I
didn't. I can't remember her name, but I saw her in something. Might have been years ago when she maybe was a teenager or something. She plays the wife with a past. And we're learning what her past is. She is a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
I mean, she has got a whole double life. And it's hysterical. And she's training her little daughter to be the same way.
I'm trying to figure out who. Well, that's not her right there. They got the wrong woman on there.
Anyway, whoever she is, she's a great actress, great character, and she's not a beauty. She's sexy in a way, but it has got nothing to do with it. She's really cool. I really like her a lot.
I'm trying to think. You remember her name? I don't remember her name.
No idea. Might probably be good.
Dana Gonzalez.
I have no idea. They should show her picture.
No, that's a guy. Sorry.
Well, that's bad news. 3:57. Excuse me. Oh, I'll talk about a Satan Christmas tree here in a second. First of all, this happened to me today. I tried to make some phone calls and give numbers out for something, to order something. And there's a cartoon, and I've got a bunch of New Yorker magazines for Pete that I got from the Kimmer Media thing. And I read them, and then I give them to Pete. Although I think I got to renew it or whatever. Anyway, there's a picture of an operator, and she's at her screen, and she's talking to somebody on the phone. And so the operator, one of these, you prompt and kind of take your order. And here's what the cartoon says. The operator says, quote, "Now, I'm going to ask for your phone number. You'll say the first 3 digits. Then I'll interrupt you as you're saying the next 3 digits. Then we'll talk over each other. And then neither of us will say anything for a few seconds. And then we'll talk over each other again." What's your number, Steve? Area 404-37-404. And, when you're given the second 3, I mean, it all the time. It always happens. Anyway, I thought that was fairly amusing. And there's your another New York radio.
And stay tuned, because later, Mayor Fiorello LaGuardia will read us the Sunday comic.
I enjoy certain things. And by the way, there's a whole bunch of stuff on AI. I mean, AI is everywhere. Stories about AI.
It's getting weird.
And that one has the story from one of the other founders. We've heard from one, and he's saying the same thing. We don't know what this is going to do.
You want to hear the latest?
I do.
A very short Skynet here. If you don't have the music, it's okay, I guess. China plans to mass produce humanoid robots in 2 years. Basically, will change the world by 2035, but they're going to start in a couple years. They will grow exponentially this decade. Millions of robots to work in teaching, construction, and medicine.
Now, wait a minute.
Can they be worse teachers than what we have now?
How can a robot... Well, I don't understand AI. I mean, how can a robot communicate with a student in a class and do questions and answers?
When I ask Alexa, who was the president of Bosnia in 1972, it's instant. It's not that she has the thing that's what's amazing. It's that she instantly has the answer.
I know. But again, those are factoids. Those are things.
You can ask her questions like, well, I'll ask her recipes. Give me a good recipe. She'll give me 3 recipes, and I'll pick one that I want. And I can talk. I have a conversation with her.
We're all going to die. They're going to take. It's going to say we don't need you people anymore.
The pillow over the head while you're sleeping.
It's unbelievable. But by the billions. Oh, my God. All right, it's 4 o'clock with a Give her Pete and Flounder. We'll try to do something amusing in a minute. I don't know.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
A fourth round of hostages freed. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. 9 children, including 2 3-year-olds, are now former hostages, along with 2 moms, released by Hamas to the Red Cross on the last day of a 4-day ceasefire with Israel. However, the temporary truce is now scheduled to continue for 2 more days after Hamas agreed to release 20 more hostages, with Israel freeing more Palestinian prisoners.
Israel had previously said that they would extend the pause in fighting by 1 day for every 10 additional Israeli hostages released. But keep in mind, once Hamas stops releasing hostages, Israeli forces will likely resume their combat operations in Gaza to both eliminate Hamas and rescue the remaining hostages.
Fox's Jeff Paul in Tel Aviv. In the meantime, a surge in humanitarian aid for Gaza while the pause in fighting continues. Another drone fired at U.S. forces in the Middle East. That makes 74 drone and rocket attacks in Iraq and Syria since mid-October, blamed on Iran proxies who've continued attacks despite several rounds of U.S. airstrikes on Iranian targets in Iraq and Syria. The USS Eisenhower strike group passing through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, arriving to help send a message.
It's targeted at any actor in the region, nation state or otherwise, that might have considerations of widening this conflict.
National Security Council spokesman John Kirby, after Iran-backed rebels in Yemen fired missiles that fell short against the USS Mason in the Gulf of Aden, just 2 hours after that U.S. ship rescued an Israeli tanker from 5 armed hijackers off the coast of Yemen. President Biden says he was horrified that 3 college students of Palestinian descent were shot while visiting Burlington, Vermont over the weekend, and that he spoke to the city's mayor today. Spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre.
There is absolutely no place for violence or hate in America.
The suspect could face hate crime charges, for now pleading not guilty to attempted murder. The Dow down 56 at the bell. America's listening to Fox News.
Testosterone levels are at an all-time low. Individual T levels decline 1% every year. Chalk, CHOQ, is the new champion of natural testosterone boosters. Chalk's main ingredient is clinically studied to naturally boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity and boost your daily energy with Chalk's Male Vitality Stack. For a limited time, our listeners will get 30% off at CHOQ.com with promo code USA. CHOQ.com, code USA.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Kind of one bites the dust. 1991, Freddie Mercury's funeral service was conducted by a Zoroastrian priest for 35 of his close friends and family, Elton John, and the remaining members of Queen among those in attendance. Mercury was cremated at the Green Cemetery in West London, England, 1991. Freddie Mercury. And a quick birthday of note here. Fisher Stevens is 60. I don't know. I know I've seen the picture of the guy. Fisher Stevens was Marvin Garand on The Blacklist and Steve Guttenberg's buddy Ben in the Short Circuit movies.
I think he was married a long time ago to who was the chick in Scarface? Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh, really?
I think he was married to Michelle Pfeiffer.
Fisher Stevens.
In fact,
60.
he was on the Blacklist, too.
Yeah, that's right. Did
you say that, son?
Yeah,
show starts at 3, Pete.
He said I played Marvin. Oh, you should talk.
I was thinking of Michelle Pfeiffer. Well, I heard you cough earlier. So.
Let's see. In the history note here today. Oh, the Twinkie defense begins. 1978 in San Francisco. A former employee, Dan White, murders Mayor George Moscone and City Supervisor Harvey Milk, the gay guy who was played by the Madonna beater-upper, Sean Penn.
Sean Penn.
In the famous movie, Milk. And the guy who shot him was Dan White, former employee of City Hall, San Francisco, and he murdered him at City Hall. The community was outraged, not only because one of the guys he killed, Harvey Milk, was gay, and of course San Francisco is the gay place. They wanted him to get life in prison. He got 8 years. He only served 5.
How did he get away with that?
You know why? The Twinkie defense.
Wow.
And that is not a legal thing, but it's in all the law. I mean, every lawyer knows and teaches the Twinkie defense. He had his lawyer confirm and testify, and they apparently believed him enough to say that he had so much junk food and sugar and stuff going on in his mind that he just lost his mind.
Please.
I know. It's a Twinkie, that's why they call it the Twinkie defense, and apparently it worked. He got out in 5 years, and then when he got out, it's a weird story, not weird, but you got to understand it, because of being in San Francisco also, and in fact he killed the gay supervisor. He was not only persona non grata. If he had kids, and if his son was playing in a Little League game or something, he had to hide around the corner to try to watch his son play because he couldn't go out in public. People would try to, attack him and all kinds of stuff. And finally, he realized he'll never find peace. He'll never, ever have a happy or peaceful moment. So he went into his garage and he put a garden hose in the tailpipe and put the other end in the window and killed himself in his car after it was out for a couple of years.
All that work the lawyers put in.
Yeah, and he killed himself because he couldn't handle it.
Why didn't he leave San Francisco?
Well, he wanted to go back to Ireland. He was Irish.
What?
Yeah, and he wanted to go back to Ireland, and his family said, "No, you can't do that." And so he was torn in. He didn't know what to do, and nobody wanted. I mean, it was just a mess. He was a psycho murderer, and everybody wanted him to die and thought he should be in prison. And finally, he killed himself.
I could understand a Twinkie defense if you're low blood sugar, and because people get low blood sugar, you go crazy. I had a girlfriend that if she would keep Snicker bars in her glove compartment because if she got low, man, she was just crazy. You couldn't deal with her.
Yeah.
So I could see someone freaking out at that, but the other way,
well,
no.
Well, kids in hyperactivity kind of deal. You give kids lots of sugar and they go nuts.
Yeah, actually, that's supposedly a myth. It's supposedly not true.
No, I guarantee it's true.
I'm just saying. I've read something a month or so ago that said that's a myth.
Yeah, well, not with my kids or any other kids I know.
You know what the best thing was? Those little straws with the powder in it.
Yeah, they're sugar straws. You remember Flavor Straw? Oh, we got a phone. Oh, my God, we have a phone call.
Leela.
Lilo's on. Speaking of food, and Lilo's on the line. Lilo, I'm so sorry.
No, she hung up.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
We forgot. I kind of look at the.
Lila, call us back. Please call back. I'm so sorry. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. We'll talk about food for another minute. Please call back right now. We'll get all the time you want. It's my fault. It's my fault. I'm a psychopath.
You and your damn history.
No, I'm in my damn history. And
just one thing after another.
Do you remember? Yes, one damn thing after another. Very funny. Okay, I'm rambling a little bit. Do you remember Flavor Straws?
What were Flavor Straws?
Do you know what that is? Flavor Straws were plastic straws.
Plastic.
And they had barber pole stripes inside the Flavor Straw. And depending on the color of the Flavor Straw stripe, it was either chocolate flavored Flavor Straw or strawberry flavored Flavor Straw. And you take the straw and put it in a glass of milk. And when you suck the milk up, it flavors the milk in the straw.
No, what we had were pixie sticks.
Well, the flavor straw, they're called flavor straws.
Did you have flavor straws?
No, I remember pixie sticks, but do you remember, I forget the name, I'm trying to Google it, but there was a candy that you could get that had like a little bar, and then it had 3 or 4 different colored sugars. It was like a dipstick or something like that. And you would just dip it into different.
Yeah, you just dip it in there. It's just pure sugar.
It was pure sugar.
Colored sugar.
Well, the best kind. No goof it around.
Do they sell pixie sticks anymore? God, I loved pixie sticks.
I haven't seen pixies. I don't think I've ever seen. I don't know what that is.
It was like you mix.
They're on eBay.
You mix your own Kool-Aid in your mouth. That's what it was.
I'll be damned. I guess I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen one.
You never seen a pixie stick?
I don't think I've ever. I know I've heard the name, but I don't think I've ever seen one or had one in my hand. Or
there you go. That's a Christmas idea for you.
There you go. Well, Pete's Googling it now.
It's just taking forever.
Yeah, it takes forever. Anyway, we're still waiting. Now, Lila, come on. It's my fault. I'm so sorry. Don't be mad at me.
She's never forgiven you.
I know. She's never going to call now. She's going to tell our friends don't listen. It's my fault. I'm an idiot.
That's not a
I'll
pixie
try to make it up to you.
Here we go. Here we go. See, they're paper. They made a paper.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it. That's like a flavor straw. Yeah, that's the same. But it's a different system. But that's what flavor straws look like. Only they're bigger. They're big, long plastic straws.
You like the big, long ones?
Well, big, long. That's what she said. You put them in the milk and then suck the milk through, and there you go. You get your flavor in the straw.
Put them in the milk.
The boom. I mean, with little kids, I'm telling jokes and being funny with little children. That's what I was.
Put the Spanish fly in the pillow. Pudding pop.
Oh, mercy. And in Wisconsin, the National Railroad Museum in Ashwaubenon had 66 Christmas trees on display at their railroad museum in this little town in Wisconsin. Among the Christmas trees were the Christmas tree from the local Satanic Temple. And the Satanic Temple Christmas tree was adorned with red lighting and beads, pentagrams, and various ornaments, one reading Hail Santa, which is a play on the phrase Hail Satan. Excuse me. Well, of course, conservatives went nuts. Conservatives are accused of launching a culture war, focusing on cultural issues, but here's a perfect example, writes one congressman, of how that's not happening. What's happening is we're trying to defend basic traditions, defending our children in the midst of these basic traditions from encroachment of woke ideology and offensive upside-down cultural propaganda. A Satan Christmas tree at a museum? For all the children and the little families to come in and try to, it's a learning moment. It's a teaching experience, all right. Yeah, I got to tell your kids what Satan would be like for Christmas. What he's supposed to give his little boys and girls. Fireballs, herpes.
There's a YouTube video. I don't know who did. It's a comedy thing. And this guy's called The Cops. He runs a store.
Yeah.
He said, I have a problem with my Santa here. My Santa is really just insane. He's just doing all kinds of bad things to the children. And the cop's going, really? Let's show us. And he goes around the corner and the camera's following him. And he's dyslexic. And he's got not Santa, but Satan sitting up in the chair.
That'll do it. By the way, they had the gender diversity Christmas tree, had pink and blue colored tranny flags and ornaments saying, protect trans kids.
No, there's no such thing.
I mean, come on.
How about arrest the parents?
Isn't Christmas? I mean,
not anymore. Not anymore.
Can you just add on stuff now all of a sudden?
The fun suckers have to suck the fun out of everything.
God. People are saying, and now people celebrate Christmas and not necessarily in a Christian way. Do these folks have a right to be there? Yeah. Is it the Christmas spirit? No. It's not.
They don't make fun of Muslim holidays. You notice that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They don't do that.
You believe in the First Amendment, but they're trying to bait you and attack you, and they say something, and then they can sue you. I mean, here's what they do. You try to keep them out of your organization, you're going to get a lawsuit. Anyway, here we go. Hail Santa. All hail Santa. I mean, God. Again, you have the right. You have the right to fart in church, but it's not very nice. But you could, have a bean dinner and then go in there all Sunday morning if you want to, but it wouldn't be very nice.
I know some people.
It's legal.
They don't let their kids believe in Santa Claus, and I was like, what the hell's wrong with you?
Who wouldn't let their kids believe in Santa Claus?
Some people I know.
Really? Start them off young, lately? Wow.
Can't have just give them a little bit of childhood, a little bit of fun before you hit them with the serious stuff.
They're all going to know by the time they're 7. They see Daddy wrapping the presents. They you help your kids wrap presents for Mommy. Santa didn't deliver that one.
Well, Mommy's been bad this year. She's not getting anything.
She's going to get something. I know that. All right, 413, Kimmer Pete Flounder. Look out! Here we go. Really.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
The topic of this commentary is, in my opinion, so important it'll probably take me 2 days to get through it all. It's about Derek Chauvin, the so-called murderer of George Floyd. As you probably know, he was the victim of a stabbing attack in his federal prison over the weekend. I'll open with 2 statements. Number 1, Derek Chauvin is a political prisoner. Number two, in all likelihood, if George Floyd hadn't died that day, he was such a thug, such a criminal, that probably he would have killed some people by now. I know you're not supposed to say things like that. I just did. There's a documentary coming out called The Fall of Minneapolis. In this documentary, there are some very frightening things that are exposed, maybe for the first time. The documentary was produced by Liz Collin, a former anchor at a CBS affiliate in the Twin Cities. She uncovers some things, like false testimony in Derek Chauvin's trial, police body cams that were not released for several months after the incident, and an autopsy that was changed after the FBI became involved. In sworn testimony, you will learn that prosecutors told of insane, extreme premium pressure that they were under to throw the book at Derek Chauvin. The narrative had to be Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd. The Hennepin County medical examiner is Dr. Andrew Baker. The original autopsy report that he wrote said that George Floyd did not die of asphyxiation. There was no damage to his body that suggests that he was strangled or that Derek Chauvin caused his death. Dr. Baker released some toxicology reports that showed that George Floyd had a fatal dose of fentanyl in his blood system, along with methamphetamines. But Ben Crump, the race-baiting attorney, was in front of the TV camera saying George Floyd was a healthy young man. There's more. I'll follow up on this tomorrow. For right now, it's Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
With the holiday season upon us, convenience is king. And at RBM of Atlanta, convenience is our middle name. Meet our Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for the required services. Once the services have been completed, we'll bring your Mercedes-Benz to you. With over 100 appointment times available every weekday, more than 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. Find out today why we're a 2022 J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence, a 5-time winner, and Atlanta's only 7-time Mercedes-Benz Best of the Best winner. We're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor for details.
When you own a business, you know where you're going. But there's always one question on your mind. How do I get there? With Piedmont Bank as your banking partner, your business has the support and financial expertise to bring you clear answers to that question. Because the heart of Piedmont Bank is built on professional insight, experience, and personalized financial solutions. So let's start a conversation and get you to wherever there is for you. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
$418.
Blew that one.
No, we're all good. We're all good.
Show started at 3.
Never a mistake here on the Kimmer Show. God to love it. It's 418 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and Bon Jovi.
This is ZZ Top.
ZZ Top. Is it ZZ Top? Oh, we know why.
Leela.
It's Leela. Because I'll play the song.
She couldn't stay. I begged her not to go away. She met my ex-best friend down in
Their first ballad.
Is you going to say her name? This is their first ballad?
Their first
ZZ
ballad.
Top.
ZZ Top. From El Loco, I think. Right, the album El Loco?
And
here we go.
Leela, we're singing you a song, baby, because I made the horrible mistake of not doing my job properly, and I apologize for making. Well, no, it's true. And anyway, Leela is back. Hey, doll, how you doing? Welcome back, and I'm so sorry.
No, that's quite a lot because I had to take a phone call, so I had to hang up and call back. So it was fine. I've been listening to you since the 80s. I remember Kathy Fishburne and all of those. And,
oh, my God. Kathy Fishman and Skinny Bobby Harper. Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
We had some fun. Absolutely.
And you congratulated my sons when they got Eagle, and they're up in North Carolina now, so I at least get to have a connection with Atlanta listening to you. I'm calling about sweet potatoes because I don't like them either. But I found out that if you have a sweet potato casserole and you add lots and lots and lots and lots of Jim Beam or Jack Daniels, that makes them terrible.
Add a lot of Jack Daniels. That pretty much.
Yeah, it makes them a whole lot better.
Well,
so that's my addition to it.
We're going to come to Thanksgiving next year at your house. I know that. Thank you, sweetie. Have a great day. Thanks again for being so sweet to call us back after I stiffed you by accident without meaning to. Anyway, thank you very much. Later. 420. With the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. We love our Kimmer babes who are listening to the show. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Is that Linda Evangelista you got on the thing?
No, I found Linda Carter instead, so I'm down a fish hole.
Oh, Linda
There's
Carter's
something wrong
nothing.
with you. Stop, please.
Linda Carter's got a mouth like a torn pocket.
You are
and her legs,
so gay.
There's something wrong with her
You
calves.
are so gay.
Oh, my
sorry.
God.
Every American boy from the 70s grew up loving Linda Carter.
Well, she had big knockers, but she didn't have, I'm a leg man. I'm a leg man. What can I tell you?
Linda Evangelista, though, was an extremely pretty
Gorgeous.
girl.
And
cute as hell.
Linda Evangelista, if you don't know the name,
I mean, that's a dream girl right there. The bangs and
supermodel, and with the Christy Brinkley, and I mean any supermodel you mentioned, Linda Evangelista was right up there and has been for a very, very long time until now.
Wait a minute, that's Linda Cardellini. I'm sorry.
Oh, thank you so much, Linda Evangelista. She sued the Cool Sculpting Company for the procedure that she had done several years, like 8 years ago, and really screwed her up.
Oh, my God.
Now she's come. Yeah, look at her face. She looks like.
Looks like my Aunt Louise.
I don't know what to tell you. She doesn't look like she looks.
Doesn't look the same.
No. It's over. She's Linda Evangelista, the supermodel from 30 years ago.
It's over.
Yeah.
What do you mean it's over?
For her. What do
you mean it's over for her?
I'm going to read you why it's over right now. Quote, the supermodel 58 told us that she is not interested in pursuing a romantic relationship. Her last date was before the Cool Sculpting procedures, which began in August 2015. Quote, I don't want to sleep with anybody anymore. I don't want to hear somebody breathing. She filed a $50 million lawsuit 2 years ago against Cool Sculpting's parent company, an aesthetic company. She alleges, and you can tell by looking at what she is now, she was brutally disfigured, has been unable to work after the rounds of nightmare procedures that began in 2015, lasted a year. To my followers who have wondered why I have not been working while my peers' careers have been thriving, the reason is that I was brutally disfigured by Zalig's Cool Sculpting. It did the opposite of what it promised. The FDA had cleared fat freezing. The procedure is fat freezing. Became very popular as a non-invasive alternative to liposuction. Okay, freezing the fat. Unfortunately, Evangelista was also diagnosed with paradoxical adenoid hyperplasia, a rare side effect that affects less than 1% of their patients, but in which the freezing process causes the affected fatty tissue to get fatter and thicker and bigger.
Yeah, that's what happened.
That's what happened to her face. And the rest of whatever she had done on it. We don't know how much she won in the settlement. She sued for $50 million. She describes herself as a germaphobe and self-diagnosed OCD. When asked what she sees in the mirror, she says, I don't look in the mirror. My son will say, hey, Mom, you may want to look. You have a pimple on your chin. She says, life is better without mirrors. She says, now my whole life is motherhood. That's all I want to do is just raise my son. It's the best I can. I'm so fulfilled with just my fun. She's had 2 cancer battles and done a lot of therapy. Says, I don't blame myself for anything anymore. I just take it what it is. I didn't do anything wrong. And for a long time, I thought I did. But
she was a hard-looking woman before. She
Yeah.
was not my type. Look at that. Very sharp features.
Yeah,
Like
angular.
a bird.
Yeah. And again, they're like 6'1" and, angular and long arms and
no boobs.
Yeah, big feet and stuff like that. So, anyway, whatever. It's
like Big Bird, basically.
Kind of like Big Bird. Oh, God. Well, how about a message by the note next time? Oh, man. What did we forget?
All right, I found this one over the weekend. This is Norm MacDonald talking about being the designated driver.
Excellent, Norm MacDonald.
I used to. Now I don't drink, and when you're with people that drink, it doesn't work out. That's why that designated driver thing, I don't think ever worked out. I see ads for it again, like I think they're trying to resurrect that idea, but it's kind of a flawed notion, It's like, hey, Bill, listen, we were wondering if you'd come out with us. Here's the idea. We want to go out and drink, and then we were hoping you'd come with us and not drink. How's that sound to you? We're going to go to a bunch of different bars and drink, and then you come with us and not drink. Also, we're not going to be driving. You're going to pick us up at our different houses, go to a bunch of bars, not drink while we drink, and then drive us all home. How's that sound to you? How's that catch you? I was like, I don't know. What's the catch? It sounds too good.
Norm MacDonald. What a shame he passed so young. I forgot what he died. Was it cancer? I don't remember what he died.
Yeah,
of.
some type of cancer. Yeah, it was cancer that he kept hidden, basically.
Yeah.
He had it for like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I remember now that he didn't tell what it was, but I forgot.
You could tell he was getting a little puffier because of the steroids, I guess. And
prednisone.
Yeah, I hate that stuff.
Is, man. Have you ever had a lot of it?
I had to go back to the emergency room because I laid down. I forget why they gave it to me, and I laid down, and my kidneys were going boom, 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 boom.
It's a steroid.
Like they were about, and the doctor goes, I've never seen that side effect before. I said, I swear, it felt like they were breathing.
Wow.
And they were about to burst.
Yeah. No, if you take a whole lot of it as a cancer treatment, your face balloons up like a pumpkin.
I remember
Jerry Lewis was
Yeah.
doing all that stuff. Yeah. And my girlfriend had to take a lot of it. Man, she was so self-conscious about it because it really messes you up. And it makes you nuts, too. Now, psychologically, you go crazy. Well, you take a lot of that stuff, it makes you very emotional and hard to deal with.
Things shrink, too, don't they?
I don't know. She was being a girl. I wouldn't know. Which would be in a good way. Yeah. But seriously, 427. I don't even know what that means.
Oh my
Keep
God.
moving. Shut up. And now this item.
Now something you'll really enjoy.
Hey, Rocky, I better get a new hat.
That trick never works.
In fact, let's play a little of this, Flounder. We'll get that lady. This made social media more than 1 million views. A tearful TikTok video of a Pennsylvania mom who happens to be a hardworking nurse. Her husband works. They have 4 jobs between them. And she went on TikTok and didn't really mean to go viral. She just said, boy, I don't know what's going on, but life is harder than we thought it should be.
We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage, bought some groceries, put some gas in the car. And guys, it is Tuesday. And we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. We don't live in a big house. It's 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in school full time. I work full time. He works more than full time. He works overtime every week. I don't know what to do.
Her name is Mackenzie Moan, and she describes her plight, which she's certainly not alone there, as you can imagine. In fact, you're probably saying the same thing I'm to myself right now. She said, I needed to vent on my phone and get the words out of my brain with all the stress I was feeling. I had maybe 30 followers before I posted that video, and now she said she never intended for it to be a thing. Her husband, she's a nurse. I'm a registered nurse, works full-time. My husband works full-time. Her husband works as a security guard, and he's also a personal trainer, and they both clean office buildings once a week for second jobs. So combined with Moan's role as a registered nurse, they have 4 jobs between the 2 parents, and they have $200 at the end of the month when they pay their bills.
Are they voting Democrat?
I doubt it.
I hope not.
I mean, she's in Pennsylvania, but that went Democrat.
They were Democrat.
Well, this asks the question: is it voters like this that become the silent voters that vote for Trump, or
don't
Republican,
or don't vote?
Yeah,
maybe say we're not voting.
But
for that guy.
if they don't vote, that's that's good for Trump.
But the thing is, the elites are trying to get rid of the middle class. The middle class has power, and they don't like us to have power. Right. They want us to be basically dependent on them. They want back to feudalism, where there's an elite class up here, and it's always the same people, and there's the rest of us masses that have to do what we're told. Yeah. They do not like the middle class.
Well, I mean, and again, and I almost, there are times when I want to tell my kids, of course, Jennifer, she had a stroke, and so her career is basically, she has her master's and her degrees, and she's a counselor for drug people and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's still a smartass on the board over here.
You see the board over there?
Well, they'll see the big board.
She posted this on Facebook, and she sends these little messages every day.
What does it say there, Kimmer?
It says, y'all think I'm mean? Wait till I don't like you. And she'll post something like that every day on her. She's an addict, but she's a recovering addict for almost 20 years. Anyway, and so there's nothing I can tell her about, saving money, because she's just never going to have any money. Her career and her future is not available. Sarah and her husband, the lawyer, are both very successful career people, and they're going to be great, and so everything's going to be fine. But I want to warn her, don't count on the future.
Right.
Do not. I mean, I am a glowing example. Do not count on the future.
It was gone like that.
It was gone like that.
Like Thanos snap.
I turned around one day and realized that half I had a huge nest egg, and half of it was gone in like a week.
Yeah.
And then the market,
then Wall Street bankers stole all the rest of the money.
The banksters, the gang banksters, they with their bundling of mortgages and stuff like that. Yeah. I had my money was in two properties, one in the north, one in the south, in Florida and up in New England, for my kids to be able to have properties to either rent out and sell or keep or vacate or whatever. So it was a perfect plan, and they all went underwater, and all of a sudden, boom! I mean, honestly, you can't. Don't trust anything, man. You better know what the hell you're doing.
You can sleep well knowing that all of those banksters went to jail for what they did.
Yeah. How about not one?
Yeah, not one.
Not one.
They were all part of the Obama administration.
You heard what tranches? You know what that is? I didn't need. It was a system where they basically gamble bad mortgages together, and then they win. Oh my God, you all right in there?
We want the bingo card.
We have a winner. We have a winner.
He's got the
microphones on.
Bubonic plague in there.
Allergies.
Whooping cough.
Anyway, plus, he's trying to tell us that I'm very late for the break, so that's my fault.
You got a short break, so you're good.
Okay. Anyway, well, again, I mean, it's just you can't these the tranches. What the bankers were and the investors were doing was gambling that their investments would fail, because if they put it together, they get money for putting it together, and then when they have to dismantle it, they get money for dismantling it. No matter what happens, they win.
And you know how they started it? Bill Clinton passing the laws that let everybody get a home loan when they couldn't afford a home loan.
Yeah.
And they couldn't pay it back. So they destroyed all those people's, hundreds of thousands of people's credit for the rest of their lives by giving them loans they couldn't pay back.
I knew of an example of a woman who worked in a nursery, and she made $31,000 a year, and they gave her a mortgage for a $600,000 house, knowing she's not going to be able to afford the house.
That movie, The Big Short.
Yes.
That's a great movie to watch.
Too Big to Fail. Too Big to Fail. Too Big to Fail. That was... Anyway, 4:33, the Kimmer Pete and Flounder. It's Monday, but we're happy. We had Thanksgiving. And who cares? We're going broke. It doesn't matter. We'll get Trump back in. We'll be fine again next year. It'll be fine. Look out.
Start your day with live and local conservative talk with Tug, Rhino, and Carlos Medina on the Morning Extra.
I think at the end of the day, Barack Obama, who's pulling the strings, when he said he wanted to fundamentally change America, he meant it. When fundamental change comes to America, it is not an America that you will ever recognize again. And that is the path that we're on. That is a scary path, and that's why we got to get somebody else in the White House, whether it's Trump or a DeSantis or someone that can be strong and lead this, probably not lead this country. I mean, let's be honest. Probably not. And get America trending in the right direction, because we've got a country to save, because we got kids that got to live here and grandkids that got to live here for generations to come.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. only on Extra 106.3.
It's the start of a new era of Georgia Tech men's basketball as new head coach Damon Stoudemire begins his first season at the helm of the Yellow Jackets. Help us bring the thrill back into the Thriller Dome by making sure you're at McCamish Pavilion to see the Jackets play. Whether you choose 9 games, including the matchup versus the Duke Blue Devils, or 6 games, including the North Carolina Tar Heels, we have plans to fit your busy schedule. For tickets and more info, visit RamblinRack.com. Sting 'em.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for a new weekly radio show, Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 11 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guests are Jeff Wood and Zachary Hyatt from the Cobb County Neighborhood Safety Commission. Tune in on Saturday or find it online at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 770-627-3235 or online at atlbail.com.
Hey, it's Los here with Rhonda Duffy of Duffy Realty. And Rhonda, you've been saving Atlanta homeowners tens of thousands of dollars over the years on one simple premise. Why would you pay more for the exact same service?
So I went to the hospital to get a CT scan done, and they have you fill out a form that says what it would be if they charged your insurance, which is an option that I have. But what it would have been was $6,800 versus $410. Now listen, I didn't get a lesser process. I still got the top machine, the doctor who read it, but that's a huge gap. But we're dealing with that with real estate commissions. Our process is not a lesser commission. We're still dealing with the same forms, the same MLSs. It's all the same. So the question is, just because you choose to pay more doesn't mean you get more. That's why Duffy Realty was built. That's why we're so successful. Money matters.
So when it's time to buy or sell your next home, visit DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com. For the latest coverage of Israel at war, keep it right here on Extra 106.3 for Fox News updates at the top of every hour and the conservative voices you trust bringing you the latest.
We'll give them up if you stop the bombing. No. We're going to continue the bombing until you give them up.
To negotiate in any shape, form, or fashion would show vulnerability.
They're negotiating from fear.
And stream our coverage anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
And now Bon Jovi, as promised, with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, 437, 106.3. Got a little bottle for a minute with a Bon Jovi here. 1986. Number 1 on the singles chart, 86. Bon Jovi, You Give Love a Bad Name. Peaked at number 14 in Britain. That's hard to believe.
The British have more taste.
Oh, you don't think it's a bad? This is a big song. Do you like this song?
It's a horrible song.
Really?
Bon Jovi just reeks. He's like a minor league Springsteen.
I never really cared much for it. I thought he was
He got pretty big successful in the hair metal band phase and
corporate rock.
I thought you guys were enormous
He was
fans
the,
of
what, 90s?
Late 80s, 90s.
90s version of REO Speedwagon is what he was.
He himself has become a...
Oh, he's a good guy.
He bought a minor league indoor football team, I think, or something like that in New Jersey. So
he's on SNL. He did a good job.
He's a good guy.
His music just sucks.
His music sucks.
Well, it peaked at 14 in Britain, released as the first single from the album Slippery When Wet. In 2009, it was named the 20th greatest. Oh, my God. Released as the first single from the album Slippery When Wet in 2009, Bon Jovi, this record was named the 20th greatest hard rock song of all time.
Hard rock?
By VH1.
Well,
20th greatest hard rock song of all time by VH1. It's not hard rock.
It's not hard rock.
This is glam rock.
Wow, yeah.
You think so? Because it had that New Jersey thing, too.
I mean, they have a little bit of their own sound, but it's that 80s, late 80s.
Overproduced.
Like your Poison, Slaughter, all those late 80 bands.
Rat. I knew Rat.
Yeah.
I knew those boys, but they were fun.
Wow. Birthdays on this day. Bill Nye, the Science Guy. 68 degrees, billions and billions of stars, not so many dance moves.
You know, he's not a scientist or a doctor.
Mr. Wizard was a scientist.
Yeah, this guy, he's an actor.
Now, Mr. Wizard, you remember Mr. Wizard?
I remember Mr. Wizard. I'd watch him before school sometimes. I'd watch him and the Three Stooges before I'd go to school.
Wow. Now, do you remember Mr. Wizard, Pete?
I remember it, but I didn't see it very much.
That was back with Ding Dong School.
Excuse
and
me?
Miss Francis.
Ding Dong School, was it?
And Mr. Green's Jeans and Moose.
That was Captain Kangaroo.
Captain Kangaroo and all those.
Bunny
Now that I think about it, the opening of Mr. Wizard was a little kid going into an old man's house.
Yeah.
Gee, I wonder what we'll find in here today. Yes. And now, on this day, in 1779, the College of Penn became the University of Pennsylvania. It says here, I wrote this myself, the first legally recognized university in America. I thought it was Harvard.
So did I. I thought Harvard was the oldest.
And I thought Harvard was in the...
Like 1680
or 90 or something.
No.
It says here, 1779, the College of Pennsylvania, the University of Pennsylvania was the first legally recognized university in America. So maybe the legally recognized is...
On a sports note, I mean, it's an Ivy League, so you got to be smart to go there. I got a friend who went there.
Yeah. Wharton Business College or something.
Is it? Is that part of it? I guess it is part of it. Yeah.
That's where Trump went.
They've got a football player there. He's so good. He's entered the transfer portal. He's supposedly the number one transfer
From
right
Penn?
now from Penn.
That's like Princeton.
And he's thinking about going to Tech. Georgia Tech.
No kidding.
Yeah, because it's such, he wants to go to a good school.
Esoteric, elite, intellectual universities. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be damned. Of course, now University of Pennsylvania is basically the money laundering link between the famous Biden crime and rape family and the communist Chinese. So it's kind of
allegedly.
Well, no, it's not alleged. It's true. They have millions and millions of dollars.
As your attorney, I advise you to say allegedly.
Yeah, bullcrap. They did it. We know they did it. All right, 442. Okay.
By the way, have you ever been to Penn?
Into the state? Yeah, but not into the university.
University?
I don't think I've ever been there.
Took the Amtrak from Grand Central Station, New York, all the way to Atlanta. Wonderful trip. And he goes through Philadelphia, goes right by Penn. It's more dangerous than USC in that neighborhood. It's a horrible neighborhood. Oh, yeah. Wow. It's like Yale. They're in the New Haven.
New Haven.
That's a horrible. That's a
you
ghetto.
drive through the Basketball Hall of Fame or something on the way you're likely to not make either one of them.
That's
the same thing, no.
Yes.
Connecticut, Massachusetts.
New Haven, Springfield. That's the same thing. Mr. Geography over here. Ladies and gentlemen.
1493, Columbus sailed the deep blue sea. So there you are.
I told someone that last week, and they believed me. I said, I don't know what they're teaching you.
It's easy to remember.
I said, I don't know what they're teaching you in Iowa, but everybody else knows.
Yeah, well. That's my fault. 443. Best mafia movie. We got news. I don't feel like doing it. Best mafia movies of all time. Now, we have to say a mafia movie, I think they also must mean gangster movie.
Yeah,
because some of these are not Italian mafia at all. No. But we won't give them away. If you want to guess what they might be, or if you have a favorite mafia or gangster movie you think should be the best of all time, give us a call.
On the list that I gave you guys, it says at the top mafia. And like you said, some of these are not mafia movies.
Right. So I think they mean mafia gangster movie. But in that case, where are the James Cagney and Bogey and Edward G. Robinson? Not one of those is on this list. The big, pick all those great 50s.
White Heat.
Yeah.
The Killing.
Hey, ma. You know, with Jimmy Cagney.
I'm top of the world.
Yeah. I mean, not one of those is on.
The three that, again, do you want to read the list?
Well, let's do that. We'll start from the bottom. There were 12 movies called, quote, the best mafia movies of all time, and apparently they took 122,000 votes to come up with this ranking. And number 12 of the 12 is Carlito's Way. Was that Dustin Hoffman or Al Pacino or one of those guys? Wasn't that?
I think it's Pacino.
And wasn't he a bad guy? And then he was. I never saw Sean Penn. Was that also Sean Penn?
I never saw it.
I think I saw part of it. No, remember. But again, I don't think that's. If we never, none of us has ever seen it. Yeah, but if it's one of the greatest of all time, none of us have ever seen it.
Right.
That's kind of hard to believe. Number 11, Once Upon a Time in America. I know of it, but I don't think I ever saw it either.
It's Italian director. Is it Henry Fonda in that or something? Or maybe.
I think it's the guy Benito del Toro.
Robert De Niro, Elizabeth McGovern, James Woods, Joe Pesci, Jennifer Connelly, and Tuesday Weld.
Yeah, great cast.
It was. I saw it a long time ago. It's a really good movie. I don't know if it's great.
Now, number 10 is Heat.
No.
That's not the Sandra Bullock one, is it?
That's not a gangster movie.
That's opposite
Al Pacino.
It's the only one that had Pacino and De Niro.
Racing through the airport or something.
In L.A.
He pulls him over on the highway from the helicopter.
I didn't think that was a very good movie. You want to hear something weird about that movie?
I do.
I was on the air now, and I was doing my own show. It was back in the 90s when that movie came out. Mm-hmm. And some chick called and said, look, I listen to the show all the time. I'd love to have you come over and watch the movie with me. You talk about that movie. I said, fine. So she invited me over to the place. Yeah. I stopped by and I got a little food. And I got some Oreos for dessert and whatever, and showed up.
Yeah.
I don't know if it wasn't her or she just substituted a friend or what. The woman acted like she never had heard of me. It was the weirdest thing. The whole night
she heard to somebody else.
She probably said 10 words the whole time when we just sat there and watched the movie, and it was so uncomfortable. It's like, why did you invite me over here if you don't want me over here?
Well, when you knocked on the door, did she say, "Who are you"?
No. She knew it is, but it was almost as if she had transferred into another person.
How old was she? Was she an older
in her
woman?
20s?
God, well, so it couldn't have been her.
No, it was a young woman and everything, a young single woman, and I was in my 30s at the time, so there's no big deal.
You were assuming,
Well, no, I was just, this is fun. She said she had called a few times and everything. So, okay, I know you're not crazy or anything, so I'll come over and watch the movie with you.
If a girl is a fan of your show and invites you over to her house to watch your movies because she wanted to have sex with you.
But the whole thing was, as it came in there, she knew what I looked like. So one of those things, oh, God, I didn't know you'd look like that or whatever. Like, she knew what I looked like. Yeah. So it was so weird. The whole time she didn't want me to be there. It's like it was so me, I stayed through the whole damn movie.
Well, there you are. Well, what are you supposed to say? Well, this isn't any fun. I think I'll leave now.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the damn movie.
What are you supposed to do? Oh, man.
All right, to be continued.
Yes. Well, 4:47. Time for the 4:45 break.
Is it?
And more of the list coming up here with the Kimmer Feed and Flounder.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. My bad.
Morning Extra with Todd, Rhino, and Los.
Jerome Powell says this fiscal path, $33 trillion in debt, $50 trillion in debt by 2030. We can't be on this path and be a healthy nation. I despise these liars and these thieves of ours and our kids' future. They've raped and pillaged America. They nor their families will suffer because of their poor decision, but ours will.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m., only on Extra 106.3.
Some choices are complicated, like do I get peanuts or popcorn? Thankfully, others are much simpler, like rooting for the Braves. And choosing Truist One Checking. No overdraft fees. Lots of perks you can cheer for. And when your account balances grow, you get upgraded automatically. Oh, and with more than 130 Atlanta branches, you can add convenience to the list of perks too. Truist One Checking. One simple choice. Branch count as of May 31st, 2023. Atlanta metro area. Truist Bank member FDIC.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree, Georgia's very own outdoor company. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
Jim Niarchos here with exciting news. The All Four Seasons Home Show returns to Atlanta Radio this Saturday morning at 9, bringing you advice and tips from some of Georgia's top business owners. Join Dan Watkins and myself when we will be helping you make smarter purchases, save money, and keep from getting ripped off. That's the All Four Seasons Home Show every Saturday morning at 9, right here on Extra 106.3.
This is The Kimmer Show, back on the air every afternoon until 6 p.m. And be here for more conservative talk tomorrow morning on Your Right to Work with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3.
I've always liked Lionel Richie. I have Truly. What'd you put? You put Truly, and what's the other love song you had on there? Not Endless Love.
Same song.
Yeah. I can't believe it. My magic.
Stuck on You?
Stuck on You. Stuck on You and Truly. I think were the two that Flounder put on there for me. Lionel Richie here on this day in 1982. Lionel Richie was number one in America with Truly. Number one each year from 1978 to 1986 as a writer. Wow, he had a number one hit every year from 78 to 1986 as a writer. 3 Times a Lady, Still. That was a beautiful, haunting song. Mm-hmm. I Love You Still, but it's too sad for me to put on my music stick. Lady by Kenny Rogers. Endless Love, Diana Ross. All Night Long. Hello. Say You, Say Me. And We Are the World.
Someone remember Cilla Black? The English singer?
Yeah.
From the 60s. Big fan.
Yes. Oh, I do. Oh, God.
Beatles loved her and everything. Someone put out, this is the worst thing that will ever happen. It was a video of her singing all night long, like a lounge act, but she was walking through a house, and there were little kids and munchkins, midgets, dancing with her as she marched through the house. It was the most horrendous thing. It was so creepy.
Oh, my God.
Singing that song.
Yowie. That's so good. Yeah. Birthdays include Catherine Bigelow, the famous Oscar-winning Hurt Locker director. Catherine Bigelow is 72 on this day. And let's see a little history list from the Kimmer last night. 1973, the United States Senate approves the nation's 40th vice president, Gerald Ford, after the resignation of Spiro Agnew, the nattering nabob of negativism author, and he pleaded guilty to income tax evasion. And after denying he was a crook, and he got caught, and he had to leave office. 451, almost 452. Holy cow! I'm going to make a
back to Mafia.
You got to finish.
Let's go back to Mafia. We got them all. We got them all right here. Okay, we mentioned 12 is the best, the 12 greatest Mafia movies of all time. We think they also mean gangster movies because a lot of these had nothing to do with Italians. So gangster Mafia movies of all time. Hey, number 12, Carlito's Way. Number 11, Once Upon a Time in America. Number 10, Heat. Number 9, Denzel Washington. He's never done a bad role, in my opinion.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe is a great American gangster. And I remember, isn't it like in the first 30, what do you call alert? Spoiler alert. I think it's like within the first minute that he cold-blooded murders another gangster in the middle of the day, in the middle of the street, and everybody in the world is watching him. And he guns him down and turns around and walks away. Well, like in the first 2 minutes of the movie.
I never saw the movie.
It's the damnedest thing you ever saw. It's a hard movie. It's a good movie. It's a hard, good movie. It's a really well done
about
movie.
black gangsters, right?
Black gangsters, yeah. And his mother and his wife and the shoot. I mean, it's a tough movie, but it's also Russell Crowe plays a guy who's getting divorced, and he's a cop, and there's a whole personal story to that, and then he turns around when Denzel goes to jail. I mean, it's a good movie. It's a full movie. It's a real good full movie. That's number 9. Number 8 on the list of best gangster mafia movies. Number 8 is A Bronx Tale. And that's a guy whose face I can see, and I can't remember his name.
I can never remember his name. Good actor.
Good actor. And I don't really know. Wasn't that where De Niro's kid grows up with this gangster?
It's based
Isn't that
on
the one?
Robert De Niro's father, I believe, or something like that.
And the kid grows up with a gangster, and the father doesn't like it, or he's nervous about it, and it's kind of a whole thing there. That's The Bronx Tale. That's number 8. Number
Chaz
7.
Palminteri.
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 Chaz Palminteri.
Yeah. Chaz Palminteri. In fact, there's a nude scene. I think. Well, you're so close.
Chaz Palmolive.
Palminteri.
Heirs of the soap fortune.
Mamba.
Chaz Palmolive.
The Bronx Tale is number 8. Number 7, best gangster mafia movie, Scarface. And again, that's not Italian. That's Puerto Rican.
No, Cuban.
Yeah, Cuban.
Don't get those mixed up.
Mario Boatlift. Well, okay, for the record, again, I think I looked it up once. All Cubans are from Puerto Rico. No. But not all Puerto Ricans are from Cuba.
No. Oh, my God,
I'm almost positive that's
Please retract that statement.
All Cubans.
I have Cuban friends. They will find you.
We're from Puerto Rico.
They will
but not
find
all
you.
Puerto Ricans are Cuban.
No.
I could have gotten that backwards.
You got
it's possible.
I don't think either one of those is true, my friend. Mi amigo. No.
Scarface.
Good movie.
Number 7. Although,
the cocaine at the end.
Yeah. And by the way, one of Danny McLefty's longtime golfing buddy friends, and one of my newer long ago golf-time buddy friends, is one of the original Home Depot investors.
Oh.
So he was a multimillionaire when he was like 27 or whatever, and he's a golfer, and he's a great golfer, and he belongs to all the clubs, and he had me out, and Danny's got as his guest at I can't remember, Atlanta Country Club, I believe.
America's Guest.
Well, America's Guest, absolutely. Used to be. Nobody invites me anymore. Anyway, so he invited us out there, and he took care of everything and stuff like that. And then as a present, he gave me a present. And I should take a picture of it. I know it's going to be in here today. It's a present is a wall hanging, a framed wall hanging of the poster of Al Pacino saying, "Say hello to my little friend," and it's got a bullet in the in the frame shadow box of this great big poster, and actually has the bullet, and it's really just really cool. But a nice man, just as nice as he could be, and it's one of my little knick-knack treasures. Say hello to my little friend. I'll try to remember to take a picture of him and put it on the Facebook thing. Scarface, number 7. Number 6, greatest mafia gangster movie of all time, Donnie Brasco. I don't get that.
Never saw that one either. By the way, back to Scarface.
Yeah.
One of the bad guys in it, I was watching a little bit of it a few months ago, and I realized who I'd seen this guy before. One of the bad guys that brought up from South America was the guy in the wheelchair in Breaking Bad that blew up. What's his face at the end?
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Yes, I forget. What their name was.
He was a gangster. He was the one who was in the house, and through the window, he told the guy that this guy's an informant, and that's when they hanged him from the helicopter.
Yeah.
But that guy, that was the family, and what was the name of that family?
I can't remember their name.
Oh,
Salamanca. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Palmolive.
Yeah.
All right, Donnie Brasco. We all decided Johnny Depp. None of us saw it. And
I
Al
don't
Pacino.
think I've ever
Pacino and Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be good.
I've seen parts of it, but I know I've not seen the movie.
That's
I couldn't
a really
tell you
good
the
one.
plot.
I recommend seeing that.
Really? No. Well, what's the plot of it?
He's an undercover, and you never know if he's actually undercover or if he was with
Donnie Brasco's undercover.
Yes.
Or Johnny? Oh, okay.
All right.
And then, speaking of undercover, another, The Departed.
Very good movie.
That was a hard movie.
Irish mob, though.
Yeah, that's not mafia. That's gangsters.
That's Irish gangsters, yeah.
And The Departed, that's a great cast. I mean, Jack Nicholson and the guy from...
When I say bury in the mash...
Yeah.
You go to the mash.
Right. But it was also very clever when he tried to get people's social security numbers and how he tried to get out of it and making the phone call and being in the wrong place when the guy was off the bill. I mean, it was so many things involved in it, and the violence, oh my God, just cold-blooded.
Yeah, the very end.
Throwing Martin Sheen off the roof.
Oh, boy. and then he goes down to the street and they said, "What are you doing here?" "Oh, well, I had to think of why he was there when he shouldn't have known he was supposed to be." You know what I mean?
One guy caught him, remember? And then he died.
And he pushed him in to get him. Oh, man. Anyway, the Departed, that's a tough movie, but certainly one of the best ones. Number 5. Number 4, Casino, which was basically Goodfellas.
Great movie.
Great movie, though. Yeah,
Based on a true
Sharon
story.
Stone and Robert De Niro.
Playing a Jewish man.
Yeah, although it's a little hard to believe that he was blown up in a car bomb and lived, because
Well,
they
he
had
explained the plane
Yeah, but still,
underneath.
with the fire that was in there, that nothing would have lived in that fire. Well, I'm sorry. I take it back.
It's a true story. He lived.
It's a true story. That's true. Based on a true story. Casino, number 4. And that was, boy, at the ending of that, when they got Joe Pesci, was that
his brother.
Yeah, and his brother.
Because he's still breathing. Stop it.
Oh, just hard movie. Okay, now the top 3. That was not Casino number 4. The top 3 are backwards, but they're all what you thought they would be. On this list, number 3 best mafia movie of all time, The Godfather. Number 2, The Godfather Part 2. And the number 1 best mafia movie of all time, Goodfellas. I think I'd have to put Godfather 2 number 1, and then maybe Goodfellas 2 and Godfather number 3, but I think I'd go Godfather 2, then Godfather, then Goodfellas.
I go The Godfather because Brando's in that as well, and all of them are in that first one, and the second one, and then 3 Goodfellas.
Yeah, I couldn't argue with either
and
one.
Coppola has put 1 and 2 together and made one movie out of it.
Well, he's got now Godfather Coda, which is all of them.
And which the third one you can just ignore.
Oh, God.
Ignore the third one.
Yeah. Now, some of the ones they did not mention, we're almost when we come back.
One of the great disappointments of my time.
When we come back. Boy, look at just right on my feet and everything. Holy cow, to bring them over to the next half hour. Oh, my God. It's working. It's 5 o'clock with a Kimmer Painted Flounder, and they're staying with us. It's working. It's working.
Show is back every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. only on WFOM Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. Extra 106.3 FM.
A new round of shuttle diplomacy. Lisa Brady, Fox News. America's top diplomat heading back to the Middle East. A senior State Department official tells Reuters Secretary of State Antony Blinken to visit Israel, the West Bank, and the UAE later this week, pressing for more aid to Gaza and to help secure the release of more hostages. The Red Cross just confirming the successful transfer of 11 hostages freed by Hamas on day 4 of a ceasefire.
The last 11 Israeli hostages now back officially on Israeli soil. The IDF is escorting them. They will eventually make their way to different hospitals across the country.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Jerusalem. 9 children among those released today, including 3-year-old twin girls. Earlier, Qatar announcing a 2-day extension of the truce.
What we expect to see in the coming days is this once again repeated 2 times over. At least 10 hostages released every single day in exchange for more humanitarian aid. At least 3 times the amount of Palestinian prisoners. And of course, the ceasefire on the ground.
The White House says there's no place for hate after a shooting being investigated as a possible hate crime in Vermont. 3 college students of Palestinian descent shot and wounded over the weekend. A financial services firm says the suspect had been fired earlier this month. Thousands expected to pay their respects at the Carter Presidential Library in Georgia, where former First Lady Rosalind Carter is lying in repose.
Rosalind Carter died last week at age 96. She was married to President Jimmy Carter for 77 years. In an earlier statement, the former president said, "Rosalind was my equal partner in everything I accomplished. She helped change the role of the First Lady. She attended cabinet meetings and was a close advisor to her president. Her main fight as First Lady was for better mental health care."
Fox's Steve Harrigan. President Biden and the First Lady expected to attend a memorial service tomorrow. America is listening to Fox News.
Testosterone levels are at an all-time low. Individual T levels decline 1% every year. Choq, CHOQ, is the new champion of natural testosterone boosters. Choq's main ingredient is clinically studied to naturally boost testosterone 20% in 90 days. Supercharge your masculinity and boost your daily energy with Choq's Male Vitality Stack. For a limited time, our listeners will get 30% off at CHOQ.com with promo code USA. CHOQ.com, code USA.
With the holidays upon us, the increase in traveling, shopping, and connecting online also heightens the need to protect your identity and finances with LifeLock. Identity thieves see this time of year as an opportunity to drain your accounts, open new loans in your name, and damage your financial future. LifeLock detects and alerts you to the threats you might miss on your own. Don't let the busy holiday season catch you off guard. Save up to 25% off your first year with promo code CLAY. LifeLock.com, promo code CLAY.
Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of flank. Ready on dog. Target. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kipper with Pete Davis and Flounder on 106.3. 503. And here's the phone number, 404-741-1230. 741-1230. We got a whole bunch of things coming up, actually newsy stuff. You mentioned the motorcade with Rosalind Carter arriving in the Atlanta area, and they're going to have President Satan's going to be here tomorrow to mess up traffic and all those kinds of things. 504 with the Kipper, Pete and Flounder. By the way, we're going to some newsy stuff which I find hard to believe is making news still after the weekend. This business with witch bottles. Flounder, have you ever heard of witch bottles? Witch bottles.
No, I have not.
Cans bottles, witch bottles. Witch bottles. Now, had you heard of witch bottles, Pete Davis, until today or yesterday?
I'd heard of them, but I didn't really know what they were.
This weekend, all of a sudden on social media and on the news popped up that people are seeing more and more witch bottles turning up in seashore beaches in Florida and South Carolina and on the eastern coast, stuff like that. And a witch bottle is a glass bottle, like a wine bottle, but it's got all kinds of stuff in it. It could be seashells and knickknacks and doodads, and I don't even know. They're just stuffed with things. And originally, the story I was reading about it made it sound as though these are so mysterious and no one knows what's going on, but they're kind of creepy and we may be in trouble and we don't know what's going on now. They're turning up all over the place. What does this mean? Well, it doesn't mean anything. People are making these rides and throw them in the water, and then say 1 year they turn up somewhere. Yeah. So it's not a thing, but it's all over it's a lead story for 2 days. On
Daily Mail.
It's the damnedest thing ever. And there's pictures of them, and they're really weird. I mean, they're beautiful in some ways, or ironic. I mean, it'd be a great little thing to have if you have knickknacks in your house as ornaments or
paddywhacks, whatever.
It would be great to stick on a coffee table or something as a talk thing. And anyway, but it's not like it's a major problem for America that are turning up on beaches. It made it sound like they were poison and they're going to rot and, kill all the fish life or something. I don't know. I don't get any of this stuff.
Dang witches.
Witch bottles. Let's see. 506. Oh, my God. 506. 404-741-1230. Oh, let me finish up we have newsy stuff, as you know. But since you're listening to the radio station, you may have just heard a bunch of newsy stuff, so we'll go back to the, what's the matter?
They're showing the hostage exchange, right? That's what this is?
Oh, yeah, on video on Fox right now.
They're showing it when they first come across in those Range Rovers or whatever they are.
SUVs.
They got all lights on because it's nighttime over there. The lights, and they had a blue light on their front. And I swear, at the beginning of that video, the blue light looked like the Star of David.
Really?
Yeah.
It might have been.
That's what the show... No, it's what the light was forming, was the Star of David as it was driving over.
Well, that's very ironic then. Maybe God is saying, okay, well, here we go.
Well, he said several things about Israel. Yeah. It's made it very clear whose land it is.
Yeah. And by the way, that the little 4-year-old girl who was in the news is safe and sound with her relatives, the one who saw her parents being murdered, and then she fled and her father's blood all over her, and a neighbor saved her. Anyway, we'll talk more about that here as we, talk about the various stuff here. We have sports coming up. Well, I'll save it for then. I noticed something. I watched 2 games. I don't know whether it was Thanksgiving. It might have been Thanksgiving games. I have my notes. I watched 2 NFL games back to back, and I have a serious problem with the way the national anthem was handled, or what was going on during the national anthem.
Why?
Well, I may be wrong, so I'm almost afraid to say it. But since this is a talk show, and I often make a fool of myself, I'm going to say it. I watched, and I took notes on both things. I took notes and wrote them down very specifically. In the first NFL game, it was a duet, a guy and a girl, and they were horrible. They were off key, and it wasn't very good, which is fine. It's hard to sing, but they showed the stand, they showed the players and the sofa. Not one black player had his hand over his heart. Most of them had their hands behind their back or had their head bowed and were looking down. Not one black player did I see with his hand over his heart. Although I think in the second game, I saw one black player with his hand over his heart. Most of the white players had their hands over their heart. And now this may not be a big deal only because, first of all, it's a football game. And if you're at a football game and you're a player and they're playing a national anthem, you're excited, you're kind of rocking back and forth. Most of them are not singing with their hands over their hearts. And so this may not be a thing. But I'm a little nervous that it was so obvious that I didn't see any.
No, hardly anyone I've noticed puts their hand over their heart. They stand erect and look, but they...
Oh, I think I still do.
But they don't.
Everybody does.
No, most people don't anymore. If you watch the crowds.
That's why I'm asking the question. That's why I said I'm a little nervous about it because it may not be a thing anymore. But I did notice, I saw an awful lot of the white players had their hands on their shoulder pads, on their hearts.
Well,
and I didn't see any black guys. And I don't want to make this a racial thing, but maybe that's where we come to. They don't want to kneel because they're afraid of getting doxxed and blackballed and everything else. But I don't know whether there's an undercurrent of in the black professional athletes to say we kind of staying out of this. I don't know. I'm raising it. I'm nervous about raising it because I may be totally wrong. It may just be that they're ready to play the game and didn't think about it.
Well, it's obvious you're a racist.
Clear. Well, sure. No, but seriously, because all the white guys I saw, all the white players had their hands over their hearts.
I'll start paying attention.
Well, again, it may not be a thing. This may be totally innocuous. It may not have any idea. Now, and maybe to me, I remember we were at the ball game last time. I was with a whole bunch of people at the ball game. We all sort of put our hands on our hearts.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, we all did.
We did. Took our hats off.
Yeah. So that's why I'm.
Well, that was at a baseball game, and baseball fans are much more patriotic than football fans.
Well, I think we all know that. 404-741-1230. 510.
What game were you watching?
I can't. I didn't write it down. I feel like an idiot, but I watched two games.
Not the Falcons game.
No, it must have been the third. Must have been the Thanksgiving day with two games. Had the afternoon
Detroit
game and the night game. Yeah.
So obviously it wasn't Southerners.
Oh, I know clearly it wouldn't be Southerners. Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Question answered.
Unless the other team was a Southern team, I don't know. Anyway, all right. Enough. I raised the issue. It may not be a thing.
The Cowboys.
Yeah.
It was in Dallas. They weren't holding their hands over their heart.
The white
Dallas?
guys were, not the black guys.
Huh.
Now, again, it may just be one camera shot, and I misinterpreted of all the pictures I saw. I could be totally on my mind on this. But I'm saying that out loud so that you all know to make your own thing. But next time they show the fans or the teams the national anthem, see if you happen to notice the same thing.
I've noticed they don't usually show them anymore during the national anthem.
Yeah, well, I think they don't do that for good reason because they don't want to have an issue. They don't want it to be an issue. Okay, back to the best gangster movies of all time. No, we got Hamas.
We were over with that.
No. What's your list?
Away.
Well, that list doesn't make any difference. I wanted your list.
No, I told you. Godfather #1 is 1. Godfather 2 is 2, and Goodfellas is 3.
No, my question is, do you have any gangster movies that are not on this list?
White Heat with Jimmy Cagney should be on there.
I mentioned before that all those old black and white movies, Jimmy Cagney, Edward G. Robinson, Humphrey Bogart,
Petrified Forest.
My God, the whole slew of them.
What about Key Largo
or the Untouchables?
Yeah,
Largo had Bogey and Edward G.
Robinson. Yeah,
in a hurricane.
Yeah, and they're not. None of those movies is on there. Not one. Hell, Fred McMurray used to be the gangster guy.
Double Indemnity.
Yeah, I mean all those.
Well, that wasn't really a gangster thing.
Well, no, that was a murder movie. But still,
that scene in White Heat where what's his face. Cagney is in prison, and they're eating in a huge lunch area, and they're all in these rows like you're in the school cafeteria. And he won't know about his mother. He had a big thing about mama. He leans to the guy next to him and says, so-and-so just was out, right? He's back in. He goes, yeah, ask him how my mother's doing. So that guy asked the guy next to him, and that guy asked the next to him. It goes about 20 guys down. And the guy just looks up and goes, oh, crap, it's not good news. So he turns and whispers something back, and the guy goes, ooh. And they whisper all the way back to, and the guy who has to tell Cagney is like, I don't want to tell him. And Cagney goes, what? And he just whispers, you can't hear anything. All you hear is the din of the meeting, and you see them whisper. And the look in Cagney, it's a slow burn, one of the greatest slow burns in history, where he just starts just going nuts, basically, and he goes berserk. He jumps up on the table and starts throwing the food. He's rolling around like he's having a fit. And he starts punching guys, and the cops come up, the guards come up, and they're beating him, and he's punching them out right and left. It's one of the greatest scenes you will ever see.
The reason that he was upset and the word he got...
His mother's dead.
Was his mother died.
Yeah.
Ma.
Yeah.
And there was a scene, scenes earlier with him. Was it with his mother where they set up the fact that it was, his mom or the gangster?
Well,
guy?
he had epileptic fits, and she was hiding it from the gang.
Yeah. Anyway, what a thing. All right, now I have, after Holy Crap at Sports, I've got 4 movies that ought to be on this best movie mafia of all time.
All right.
So we'll come back. But first, Holy Crap is coming up with Pete Davis, 513, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Look out.
With international conflicts running hot and Israel at war, you can trust Extra 106.3 to bring you the latest breaking news throughout the day and the conservative voices you trust for all the latest.
Hamas is a terrorist organization, and anybody who supports the terrorist attack on Israel should be released from this country and sent away.
Israel at war, with live updates all day.
If 9/11 happened to us again today, I wonder what the hell the reaction would be.
From Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
This is The Kimmer Show, back on the air every afternoon until 6 p.m. And be here for more conservative talk tomorrow morning on your ride to work with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra, 6 to 10 a.m. on Extra 106.3.
People are just watching the video of Jimmy Cagney at the White Heat when he's going nuts in the cafeteria part there, beating up all the guards. 4 of them in a row. 4 punches, 4 knocked out guards. Anyway, 5:16 with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and Holy Crap at Sports with Pete Davis.
The Screws, man.
Yeah, the Screw. Flatfoot.
The Falcons turned their season around with that 24-15 win over the Saints in the Bench yesterday. They're now flying high in first place in the NFC South.
Yeah,
Can you imagine
what 5 wins they have now? It's
something like that.
5 and 6 or something.
I didn't look.
No.
Desmond Ridder tried to throw the game away, but came up clutch when he had to. He's still throwing the ball to the other team. Arthur Smith is slowly waking up to the realization that he has some offensive weapons on his team that he can use.
The first thing I remember saying in that, I almost texted you. I almost texted you. I know not to bother you on the weekends or on ball games, but I almost texted you saying it's about time they let the freaking running back we pay God to do the game. My God, what are you waiting for?
He ran for one and then caught another.
Ta-da!
Oh my God, do we have this guy on our team?
Who didn't know this?
The idiots that drafted him number 7.
Jeez, unbelievable.
Anyway, congrats to kicker Younghoe Koo. He is now the most efficient place kicker in NFL history with at least 100 kicks.
Yeah.
Because
he was hurt too.
Yeah, he was hurt and he did it. Because the Ravens' Justin Tucker actually missed a field goal last night.
No
Shocked
kidding.
everybody. His percentage is now around 94%.
Oh, boy.
So cut him.
Yeah,
he's out of there.
Yeah.
It showed him on sidelines. He was just like, he couldn't believe it.
I'll bet.
New Orleans is 0 for 5 in the red zone yesterday. Jesse Bates III turned the game around in the first quarter. That 92-yard interception return for a touchdown may have saved the season.
Yeah.
What he did, because they were up 3-0 and driving. So now they've once again got our hopes up, the Falcons do.
Well, that'll be a mistake.
Let's see. Been following this team since 69. What is the modus operandi for this team? They have 3 of the worst teams in the NFL in their next 3 games.
They can't lose. They cannot lose.
Please don't say that.
Well,
of course they can lose. They're the Atlanta Falcons. But this is what they have to do. They have to win to keep it going. Yeah. To keep that the Benz was rocking, because it always is with the Saints coming into town. It's always good to do that. So will they return to form and blow the next game against a lesser opponent, as is their wont? Or stay tuned to see if this is the beginning of a winning Arthur Smith era. This could be the turning point.
Is it South Carolina or
what are you talking about?
Jacksonville? Who's next to the 3 losers?
I think they got the Jets, the Bucks, and the Panthers. Panthers just fired their coach.
Yeah, oh my God.
In fact, they're already panicking. Owner David Tepper fired Frank Reich today, less than 24 hours after the owner left the locker room muttering an expletive, which we cannot repeat, following their 17-10 loss to the Titans in Nashville. Reich's tenure in Carolina ended an NFL worst 1-10 record, 0-6 on the road. He's the first NFL coach since the 1970 merger to be fired in back-to-back seasons. He was fired from the Colts last year. Tepper says, I met with Coach Reich this morning and informed him that he will not continue as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. This is the same man after the game. Tepper left the locker room shaking his head in disgust and heard by reporters yelling the F word.
The big bomb,
pretty bad.
Very loudly.
Pretty bad. So the Panthers are assured of a 6th straight losing season. I told you to draft C.J. Stroud and not the kid from Alabama. But no one listens to me.
I mean, there's that Bryce Young. There's their quarterback, right? Who can't get. He's 5'7" or
small,
something.
He's good, but he's small. He's going to get hurt. That's just the way it is. Tepper bought the team in 2018 for $2.2 billion.
Oh, man.
The team is 30-63, the second worst team in the NFL since he bought the team. What's the worst team in the NFL?
Houston?
No, that would be the Jets, Jets.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. This is the second straight year Tepper has fired his head coach in midseason. He fired Matt Rule last year.
Oh, my God. I forgot.
Congrats to Georgia Tech for giving Georgia a real game. No one expected an 8 game.
I'll tell you
points.
what, boy.
They played play for play with them. Tech fans should start showing up for games with Brent Key as the coach. That's when we're going to get on their butts a little bit here. I saw more Tech fans at Hedgens Bar back in the day in Buckhead than were at that game Saturday night. You were overwhelmed by Bulldog fans, and that's embarrassing, and that cannot happen again. And even I felt a little sad for Auburn fans for how they blew that home game against Alabama.
Oh, man.
No need to pay off the referees when your opponent allows a receiver to get behind them in the end zone on 4th and 31.
Yeah, that's just...
Yeah. Bama fans have named the play the disaster in the pasture or the Hail Mary in the dairy.
And we have...
you want to play the Japanese thing?
Yeah, we got to.
If you got it, let's do it.
No, wait till you...
No, let's do it now. We're talking about
this is that final play, or not the final play, but the play that turned it around. The spectacular catch at the corner of the end zone.
Inexcusable.
Unbelievable. It should be behind. You're not behind that guy in the end zone. And here's the way the Japanese broadcasters described that final. That
追い上げる先ほどはオーバーテイク取りを見せた。さあ今度はどういうことになりますか。川端が見えてきてぴったりと斉藤だ。うわークラッシュ。バザーイ。ものすごいクラッシュ。バザーイ。とんでもない状態が時代だ。大クラッシュ。
Holy
cow. I love it.
I haven't seen such enthusiasm since Tora.
Well, there you are.
ESPN Stephen A. Smith said, quote, Auburn should be disgusted and ashamed of themselves, end quote.
You can't let the guy get behind you on a Hail Mary bomb.
Now, I warned Tigers fans about this. This is what Hugh Freeze does. His offenses are fantastic, usually. This year, it's been a little off. But he can get a team up to play Alabama. He beat them twice at Ole Miss 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
In Tuscaloosa and in Oxford. But Hugh Freeze's defenses are like drunken matadors on skates. They will allow everybody to go through, especially at the end of the game. They can't hold a lead to save their butts. And that's what they do.
I remember the Alabama game a couple of years ago. I don't know if it was a national champ. It was a major game where the other team kicked a field goal, but it was short. and the other guy against the Alabama guy kicked it and it was short, and the other team caught it and ran it back for a touchdown. And even Coach Stupidface at Alabama said it was his mistake because he put all the big beefy guys in there to be big time blockers and stuff, and didn't put in any fast guys to go catch somebody in case he caught the damn ball, and he lost the game because of it. And what?
That would be the Kick 6, the 10-year anniversary of it.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. Oh, was that part of your thing? Oh, my God. I'm so sorry.
No, that wasn't part of my thing. I was just telling you that was the Kick.
Yeah, but I remember that. And he admitted, he said, I put too many big guys in there, big bodies in there to be blockers, and I never thought about somebody catching the ball in the 4-yard line, whatever, and running it back all the way.
By the way, Auburn fans, if you want a little help here, go back to this date in sports history, and you usually win the Iron Bowl on this day.
Yeah.
In fact, you beat Alabama in the 50s. You beat them 5 years in a row in the 50s.
Yeah.
So, and not to kick them while they're down.
No, go ahead.
But there's a meme out there of a woman lying awake in bed next to a man after she's had sex with him. The caption reads, "Dating a guy who pulls for Auburn. Gee, I hope I didn't get him pregnant."
Oh, ow. Mercy.
Meanwhile, the coaching carousel has started. Mississippi State hiring Oklahoma offensive coordinator Jeff Lebby as their new head coach. He used to be the OC at Ole Miss, so if you can't beat them, hire their old coaches. Texas A&M has offered their gig to Kentucky head coach Mark Stoops, who said yes, then he said no when offered a lifetime supply of bourbon. So Texas A&M has now hired Duke head coach Mike Elko, who used to coach there.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. And both Duke and Oregon State players are feeling betrayed after their coaches pulled a Tommy Tuberville and told the team one thing and did another overnight, saying, "I haven't made up my mind yet. I'll let you guys be the first to know." And then they wake up the next morning and the coach is in the other town.
Can't do that.
But they do. Tuberville did it. Now Elko has done it. And Jonathan Smith of Oregon State, he left his alma mater to go to Michigan State.
Wow.
That's always going to be the second team in that state.
Yeah.
It's a no-win gig.
Yeah.
Why would you leave your alma mater unless he realizes that with Oregon State and Washington State left out now, everybody else in the Pac-12 is gone.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
They're really screwed. And it's sad.
What the hell's going on with NCAA football? I mean, what?
Well, I'll tell you this. It was sad to watch the last Pac-12 regular season game Saturday night. It made me sad after 116
That's right.
years.
I hadn't thought about that.
The Rose Bowls and all that. It was fitting. Played in the Rose Bowl, the last regular season game. Cal beat up on UCLA. Those two teams had played 90 years in a row. They're the same organization. They're both universities of California.
Yeah.
And they're not going to play each other because UCLA has taken off to the Big Ten along with USC. And then they joined a couple others. They're pulling others with them as well. But anyway, the Pac-12 is history after the championship game. All for greed. Destroying the rivalries. It's stupid. Nicholls State football team had a bad Thanksgiving weekend. The entire squad, plus a bunch of staff, stranded at a tiny airport in Illinois for nearly 24 hours with limited food and water.
Whoa.
All this after they had lost their playoff game. The Colonels were in Carbondale, Illinois on Saturday, the first round of the postseason. They got blown out by Southern Illinois 35-0. They went to Veterans Airport in Marion to catch a ride home. 22 hours later, they had run out of food and down to their last water bottle. A pilot finally showed up to fly them home to Louisiana.
No pilot? It wasn't the weather or something?
Basically, it was they couldn't find a pilot to take them home. And Southern Illinois, God bless them, showed up and fed them.
Wow.
And they just beat the hell out of them, by the way.
Wow.
Nothing like rivalry games. After Virginia Tech beat Virginia at Virginia, the Hokies tried to take a team photo on the 50-yard line.
Oh, boy.
The Cavaliers turned the sprinklers on.
I would, too. I would, too.
If the team stood out there and took the photo anyway with the sprinklers going.
It would be a great
photos
picture.
the rest of your life.
Historic.
The Braves are still in the market for a frontline starter, if you believe the pundits. They and the Dodgers were after Aaron Nola before he stayed with the Phillies.
Yeah.
Sonny Gray is now headed to the Cardinals. So now several teams are talking with the White Sox, who are in sell mode for starting pitcher Dylan Cease. He's a pretty good pitcher. So we'll see what they have to give up if they do it. Another link to our local past is gone. We lost an Atlanta icon, former Braves mascot Chief Noc-a-Homa.
What a
passed
shame.
away over the weekend. Levi Walker, age of 81, a veteran and member of the Odawa tribe of Native Americans, joined the team for the 69 season. He was the third and final person to play the mascot. He started in 64 as a nameless mascot with a team in Milwaukee, or actually the mascot did. And Walker was most prolific of all of them. He was in that teepee beyond left field out there until 1986. If you grew up a kid in Atlanta in that time, everybody went to the teepee and visited Chief
Noc-a-Homa.
He would come out and he'd dance around the mound, and then he'd breathe fire out of his mouth.
We would do an old-fashioned American Indian tribal dance, rain dance, fire, the whole deal. Absolutely.
Yeah. In 1982, his teepee was removed after the season-opening 13-game winning streak so that owner Ted Turner could add more seats. After the team lost 19 of their next 21 games, falling to second place in the division, the outcry from superstitious fans resulted in Turner directing management to restore the teepee, and Atlanta rebounded to win the National League West. I remember that was a big deal. We were screaming up at him in his box and down there on the field when you go sit down there, bring the teepee back. Yeah. He had been in poor health for several years, Walker had, but even the Claremont Lounge posted a remembrance of Chief Noc-a-Homa.
Really? Oh, no.
Which is a very nice one,
another
by the way.
institution, saluting another one.
And in 1941, Joe DiMaggio won the MVP award in the American League over Ted Williams. DiMaggio had set that record 56-game hitting streak, but Williams was the last man to ever hit over 400.
400, yeah. And wasn't it Ted Williams' last at bat was a home run too?
Yeah, in Boston.
And he never tipped his cap.
Would never tip it. He tipped it when he came back for the All-Star game decades later. He did it.
Yeah. Well, he was also a hero fighter pilot in Korea, and I think World War.
Both
wars.
Both wars.
As a Marine fighter pilot. Yeah. He's a true blood killer. God bless him.
By the way, in 47, DiMaggio again edged him out for the MVP award by 1 point because a sports writer did not even include Williams on his ballot.
Holy moly. Yeah. Two things. First, a little-known fact. In 1980, Dave Williams of the Chicago Bears became the first NFL player to return a kick for a touchdown in overtime. An overtime game ended with the kickoff. Yeah. first time ever. And let me ask you this. I saw that John Gruden is in the line for
Indiana.
Yeah. Now, and they described him as a disgraced John Gruden.
Disgraced.
Now, is he disgraced? In fact, is he disgraced?
Well, those were homophobic and
said some stupid
racist tweets.
Yeah.
But that was to cover for the NFL. The NFL exposed that because they didn't
Washington
like.
Coach was. I mean, the owner of the Washington.
The whole organization was a bunch of sexual perverts against their cheerleaders and everything. And the NFL was trying to divert attention, so they threw John Gruden under the bus.
Right.
Now, he shouldn't have written those things. That's true. Yeah. But he had nothing to do with what was going on with that investigation.
Yeah. He sued. Is that still going on? I assume it's probably still going on. We would have heard. Is that?
We have two phone calls. Right, do we have time?
Yes or no?
We can do one.
We do one phone call?
Do one when we get back.
All right. And then we'll also update the Mafia movie list, which is not good. Pick a person, Flounder. Let us know who's on there.
Is it Dave?
Dave? Dave, he's here. Hey, Dave, you're on the radio. What's up, man?
Hey, Kimmer. Great.
Dave's not here. He's here now. Shut up. Go ahead.
Well, I'm here now. Man, I'm so glad you boys are back on the air. You give me something to look forward to and laugh every week.
Oh, thank you.
I was thinking of a movie called Angels with Dirty Faces that had one of the best Bogart lines next to Casablanca, where Bogart says to Cagney, "You used to ask me things, and now you're telling me things." And Cagney says to Bogart, "So?" And Bogart says back, "So my feelings is getting hurt."
There were some great those old black
George
and white
Raft.
movies. Oh, yeah, George Raft, who was a gangster, by the way. He was an actor who was a gangster first.
Yeah.
Hey, Dave, thanks, man. I appreciate it. 5:31. Another phone call. Also, the updated Mafia list. And we got newsy stuff here. I just don't feel like right now with it. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder right here. And new comedy. New comedy we got to do.
The Morning Extra is the right way to start your day. And here's what you missed.
Biden's 81.
Yeah.
He's already living on borrowed time. Really? I mean, think about it.
It's a grueling job, both mentally and physically. This man can't do the job. He's proven to us every single day that he can't do the job. Things are going to get worse.
The Morning Extra, now every morning from 6 to 10 a.m., only on Extra 106.3.
It's the Subaru Share the Love event. So put a little love in your heart this holiday season. It's Subaru of Gwinnett. You're going to love the full line of new Subarus in stock now. From the Outback and Forester to the Legacy, Crosstrek, and BRZ. Each Subaru built to superior safety standards to protect your loved ones. You know, it's a fact. Subaru owners show a lot of love, especially to the environment and those in need. So right now, during the 2023 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru will donate $250 to your choice of charities with any new Subaru lease or purchase. Visit Subaru of Gwinnett for complete details and log on to SubaruofGwinnett.com for amazing lease and financing offers on all new Subaru models. This holiday season, drive a Subaru and share the love, and Subaru will pay it forward with a $250 donation to your choice of 5 charities. Subaru of Gwinnett, Satellite Boulevard, Duluth. Subaru will donate $250 to purchaser or lessee selected national and hometown charities. Log on to Subaru.com/share or call 678-475-3500 for details.
Hey, it's Lowe's here with the one and only Rhonda Duffy. And you've heard my success stories about selling a home with Duffy, but Rhonda and her team also can help you buy your next home and save you big money.
One of the things that I am most proud of at Duffy is the way that we work with buyer clients. There's so much more inventory than what you're seeing online. Our clients experience that inventory, then they do their own searching. When it's time to make an offer, we take them through a process that is so data-driven that it's absolutely impossible for them to overpay for that property. Then at that point, we share our commission with them. That's right. That came from people sitting at closing saying, well, it must be nice to make tens of thousands of dollars when I found the home myself. So we built a whole model around it, and I really appreciate when a buyer says, what a great partnership.
When it's time to buy your next home, start with Duffy because money matters. DuffyRealtyATL.com.
DuffyRealtyATL.com.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
Thursday night, Extra 106.3 brings you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great red versus blue state debate between Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and California Governor Gavin Newsom. Hosted by moderator Sean Hannity. Our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
Walking these streets. No, don't be quiet. I love this song. Singing the same old song. In fact, I'm going to have Flounder put it on my music magic stick tomorrow. I'm going to ask you politely. I'm going to make you. Okay. I pay. I give the man, a tip. I mean, I don't expect to do my things for me because I don't know how to do it.
I wasn't saying pay. I wasn't saying pay.
Oh, sorry.
Saying gay.
5:35. Put some Liberace while you're at it.
No. Glenn Campbell. Play with Glenn Campbell. Under my horizon, but I'm gonna be where the lights are shining on me like a rhinestone cowboy. My daughter Jennifer, when I was doing radio stuff back in the 70s, would call and always say, Daddy, play Rhinestone Cowboy. She was about 4 or 5 at the time. And I would play Rhinestone Cowboy, and we'd all be happy. And Glenn Campbell, again, was one of the greatest interviews, one of the nicest men I've ever had on my radio show. And it was just, it was delightful. And this is right before he became, I got Alzheimer's, basically.
I always think, whenever I hear this song, I think of, what was her name, Frederica Wilson. Remember that black congresswoman who wore that rhinestone cowboy hat?
Yeah, oh, God, yeah. Oh, God, I haven't thought about it. What a from Florida or something?
Yeah, I think she was.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Was this song written for Urban Cowboy?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised.
There was a Clint Eastwood movie where he played a kind of a painted up Bronco Billy.
Rhinestone Cowboy was the movie with Jane Fonda.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Would they do that after the song was a hit or before?
I don't know. I assume, let's see.
Maybe it was written for Bronco Billy.
1976, 20 Golden Greats by Glenn Campbell started a 6-week run at #1 in the British charts. During his 50 years in show business, Campbell released 70 albums. and sold almost 50 million records. And I love this silly little song. What?
Nothing.
Okay. Our birthdays include Robin Givens, says here, Mike Tyson's downfall. 59 today, Robin Givens. Didn't he beat her up a little bit? She finally didn't he beat her up once too often or something? She finally said,
maybe
that's
even the R word. Yeah.
Well, rape her. She was. I think she complained that he gave her rough sex. It was basically marital rape.
A lot of people question why she even married him in the first place.
Well, let's figure that out. Celebrities and
Danny says that Rhinestone was way before Urban Cowboy, so it wasn't for that movie.
Oh no,
maybe it was just for the song. It was just a song.
Okay, look. We have a phone call. Pete, Pete is on the horn. Hello, Pete. You're on the radio. What's up? Oh my God! No, just kidding. Hello, Pete. You're on the radio.
Yeah, thanks. I got Rhinestone Cowboy in my head now. Appreciate that.
That's all right. It's a nice little song. You'll be okay.
And I noticed Flounder didn't tell me to turn my radio down because I'm 10 miles away, more than 10 miles away from the station. So,
very funny.
Very funny. All right, well, this is a blast from the past. Tells you how long I've been a listener.
Yeah.
Here's a name for you.
All right.
Perspiration John.
Oh, my God. In fact, he was just on. He popped up the other day on my cell phone, on my Facebook page. Yeah. And I forgot whether his son had an anniversary or his wedding anniversary or something. What a great guy. And we got that nickname because he was doing our... Oh, my God.
We've lost him.
Are you under arrest? Is that SWAT team?
Flatlined her. Oh, my God. Get the paddle stat.
Yeah. But Perspiration John was doing a lot of our production stuff on remotes and everything, and we were doing the Greek Festival.
Which one?
It was the...
Cobb County or the one down in Claremont?
I think it was Claremont.
Okay.
I think it was Claremont, and it was in the summertime.
That was hot.
Oh man! And we were, and of course we were out in the middle, right there in the middle of the lawn,
drinking ouzo.
And the blaring sun. It was 100 degrees at 3 in the afternoon or whatever, and soaking wet, just soaking wet. And I mentioned John Gray is his name, and I said, John, gee, you might have had like maybe a little roof here, some kind of a tent, I don't know, something, a little guard of something. I mean, we were just soaking wet, so I started calling him Perspiration John after that, and the name's stuck for 40 years now or whatever.
I called him Pantless John because every time he'd bend over, you could
see his
plumbers.
Creek,
plumber crack.
Anyway, nice man. We're very, very nice, just wonderful, nice man. And he used to run a radio station, I think, in Douglasville. It was working for many years.
That's right, because he called me up once, and I did some sideline reporting for West Georgia.
Really?
Cool. Over there, yeah.
Yeah, nice man. John, Perspiration John, if you know him, say hi. Now, wrapping up this mafia movie business. The best mafia movies of all time, their list, well, I'll quickly, in case you just joined us, somebody's list of the greatest 12 mafia movies of all time. Number 12, Carlito's Way. 11, Once Upon a Time in America. 10, Heat. Number 9, American Gangster. 8th best, A Bronx Tale. 7th, Scarface. 6th, Donnie Brasco. 5, The Departed. 4, Casino. 3rd best, their list, 3rd best, The Godfather. 2nd best, Godfather Part 2, and their best movie, Goodfellas. I would have put Godfather 2 and 1 in the first two, and Goodfellas 3rd. But they're all it's hard to, I suppose, debate those two. Now, I have 4 movies that I think should have been on this list in place of some others. Mm-hmm. Eastern Promises.
That's Russian. That's not mafia. That's Russian.
Well, either is The Departed and Donnie Brasco and Scarface and A Bronx Tale in America. I mean, most of these aren't
it's
mafia.
Actually British and Russian.
Right, but if it's a gangster movie, one of the best gangster movies, I think, is Eastern Promises. How about Road to Perdition? With Tom Hanks.
A lot of people don't like it. I liked it.
Oh, that was a great movie.
I thought so, too. Paul Newman.
Paul Newman.
And Jude Law.
Yeah, oh, my God, what a great movie. The kid was not a good actor, but it was a great movie, The Road to Perdition. How about Miller's Crossing?
Yeah.
That was different.
That was
a little too...
that's the Coen brothers, right?
Yeah, I think so. It's a little too stylized, maybe.
Yeah, and that actor always
like a
bugs me.
suit kind of a deal, kind of thing. But anyway, it was possible. And the other one, honestly, I think this really deserves to be one of the great gangster movies of all time, Untouchables.
Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, think about it. With all those... I mean, my God... Costner and De Niro. I mean, the cast. My God.
Okay, here's a good one. It's a British one, but Bob Hoskins. Remember Bob Hoskins from Roger Rabbit?
Yeah.
They're the great little actor.
Yeah.
The Long Good Friday. is a British gangster movie. It's very, very good.
I've heard of it.
In fact, they did a remake of an American version, too. It's very good.
Well, anyway, if you have add the list, feel free to join us. 542 with a Kimmer Pete and Flounder.
Marty called in real quick. I apologize.
No.
I believe the movie you were thinking is Electric Horseman.
Oh, that's right, with Jane Fonda and Robert Redford.
That's right. I remember Jane Fonda and Robert Redford on the horse.
Thank you, Marty.
Did he write the song for that movie, though, or?
I don't know. I'll bet he did for that.
I've never seen that.
We could look it up. Oh, it's a cutesy movie about a horse who's. Well, it's about a cowboy. No, it's a movie about a movie star who becomes a show cowboy guy. He shows up at fairs and stuff to ride the horse, and they turn off the lights, and the horse is loaded with all these twilight twinkling lights, and they run around. And finally, he just says, "All right, we're not going to do this anymore," and steals the horse and takes off. Jane Fonda's a reporter who goes to try to find him, and she does. And then the movie is what happens after that.
The horse was complaining about the lights, or
no, the horse was mistreated as a horse person.
Oh, he's mistreated because he put lights on.
Well, it was just you don't do that to a horse. I mean, he made him into a circus clown. And
the horse ain't gonna know.
I know. Well, anyway, he didn't think it was a pro. The horse was like a thoroughbred champion, like Seabiscuit or the other one who set all the records.
Man of War.
Secretariat. Secretariat.
Yeah.
And they turned him into a circus clown. And the guy said, this isn't right. He wanted him to be free, so he wanted to take him out into the Rockies or someplace and let him go.
We solved a mystery. People were talking about on social media over the weekend. Is it Smokey Bear or Smokey the Bear?
The Bear. Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, I just saw a thing here. It's Smokey the Bear.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, people would call him Smokey Bear when they say, well, Smokey Bear was over here, but the name of the thing and the name of the stuff was Smokey the Bear.
You remember the old posters that Smokey pointing? There's a great poster of it. It's a family, the all-American white family, looking out over Yosemite and everything. Smokey's pointing at him and pointing at Yosemite behind him and everything. And the caption reads, watch me while I eat this family.
544 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. And there's some political experts or so far have come out with a reason why Vladimir Putin is so angry and hate-driven toward the Ukrainian president Zelensky. Well, Zelensky was not a professional politician. Zelensky was a TV comedian, a famous comedian. And he did a sketch in 2014 mocking President Putin of Russia and his mistress, who was 30 years old, and he's had a bunch of kids with her, apparently. And this guy, Zelensky, who back then was, in 2014, was a TV comedian, he mercilessly skewered him over his relationship with this side piece 30-year-old gymnast. He said nobody would ever dare make fun of Putin in any way. But he goes on he does a skit where he comes home and the girl doesn't know what to do, and he's making fun of him. And she says, well, I'm hiding the guy who's the Ukrainian president in the closet, and he's being quiet so we can have sex for a minute and a half. I mean, it's kind of a stupid thing, but the bottom line is that he makes fun of the girlfriend, the 30-year-old gymnast girlfriend with Putin, and it ends with him making the girl president of Ukraine. Yeah, so Putin, of course, hates him for that, and I'm sure that there's a money price on his head. Anyway, they're saying that's one of the reasons why he'll do anything to try to get rid of him, but I think there's just plain little Hollywood here. 546.
Oh, there we go.
What do you got? Oh, yeah, she was a champion gymnast. She's built. And she's quoted as saying, I don't go with rumors. I, here for the goodness of my man.
So she's Ava Braun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it says he's 70 or something. He's got to be 68
or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she's a dish. 546. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Flounder's funny coming up. I'll bet you probably, maybe, hopefully.
Thursday night, Extra 106.3 is proud to bring you Atlanta's exclusive coverage of the great Red versus Blue State debate. Hosted by moderator Sean Hannity, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and California Governor Gavin Newsom go head-to-head live from right here in Alpharetta as they sound off on the biggest issues surrounding their states and the country at large. Our exclusive coverage hits the air at 9 p.m. live on Extra 106.3 and streaming live on the Extra 106.3 app.
Step into the great outdoors with Realtree. Hi, I'm Bill Jordan, and I'm here to tell you about the incredible experiences that await you and your loved ones. Nothing brings families and friends closer than the great outdoors. At Realtree, we've dedicated ourselves to creating quality products and experiences that enhance your outdoor lifestyle. And did you know, Realtree is proudly based right here in Georgia. Our roots run deep here, just like our passion for hunting, fishing, and everything outdoors. Whether you're an experienced hunter or a novice angler, Realtree has everything you need to make your outdoor adventures a success. From an assortment of gear and apparel to expert advice and tips, we've got you covered. Visit Realtree.com to discover a world of possibilities. Whether you're planning your next hunting trip or looking for the perfect fishing spot, Realtree.com has all the information you need. Realtree helps you connect with family and friends and make memories that will last a lifetime. Realtree, family, friends, and the outdoors.
As the longest continually operating franchise in Major League Baseball, the Atlanta Braves have plenty of history to share with fans. Tours of Truist Park are offered year-round and take guests behind the scenes to areas normally off-limits during games. With artifacts and exhibits distributed throughout the ballpark, it is a definite must for any Braves or baseball fan. Visit Braves.com/tours to purchase your ticket today. And along with exclusive tours around the ballpark, you can also host a private event at Truist Park. Corporate meetings, trade shows, team building events, birthdays, rehearsal dinners, you name it, Truist Park can host it. Their dedicated staff is sure to bring your vision to life. Whether you're looking for a large space or something more intimate for your next event, there's a venue to accommodate your needs. Visit Braves.com/events for more details. Atlanta Braves Baseball for the A.
Hey folks, I'm Joe Hamilton.
And I'm Brian Finner, and here to talk to you about something serious.
Did you know that nearly 40,000 kids in Georgia try to commit suicide every year? As a parent, I can't think of anything worse than a kid that thinks there is no hope.
There's a lot of pressure on young athletes, and we need to make sure we let them know it's okay to not be okay, and even more okay to seek out help if they need it.
So we need to talk to our kids about how they're doing and how their friends are doing. We need to make sure they can talk to us and that there's always hope.
We need to teach them to leave stuff on the field, and if they can't, if it's too much, they need to know there is help.
Suicide prevention starts with all of us.
If you know anyone that's in distress, call 988 for assistance or go to PreventSuicideGA.org. Again, dial 988 or visit PreventSuicideGA.org.
We've got to take care of ourselves and our kids, and hope changes everything.
The biggest election coverage in the South from Atlanta's only true conservative voice. As the election draws closer and things get heated, Extra 106.3 will bring you the voices you know and trust to sort through the muck.
Where was the free speech rights when the conservatives were trying to talk?
Where's the free speech when somebody put the word Trump on the sidewalk?
Right. And stream our coverage all day from anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app.
5:50. Yeah, we got a little Jimi Hendrix action here, do we? Yep. 1967, Jimi Hendrix and Pink Floyd, The Move, The Nice, The Outer Limits, a 16-date tour with all those folks. Amen Corner traveled to Belfast to appear for 2 shows at the Whitehall Queen's College. On this day in 67, it was Jimi Hendrix's 25th birthday. And before the shows, the guitarist was given a birthday cake by the promoters. It was the only concert that the Jimi Hendrix Experience ever played in Ireland.
You know who The Move became later?
I do not.
ELO.
Really? Yeah. We like ELO. On this day in history, the Beatles in 1962 recorded their first BBC radio session. They played Twist and Shout, Love Me Do, I Love P.S. I Love You. They were part of a talent show. Also, speaking of the Beatles, on this day in 1967, the Beatles released Magical Mystery Tour, featuring the title track, Fool on the Hill, I'm the Walrus, Strawberry Fields Forever, Hello, Goodbye, Penny Lane, and All You Need Is Love. Wow. And the Beatles, and that was in 67, and the Beatles in 1989, Paul McCartney suggested the 3 surviving Beatles might reunite. But George Harrison shot down that idea, saying, quote, there won't be a Beatles reunion as long as John Lennon remains dead.
Yeah.
In 1995, he had lied, of course. In 1995, Paul, George, and Ringo contributed to some old demos of John's from the 70s to create the new Beatles songs. And then there was Now and Then, the one they released this year, which we played for you on the radio, which was a hell of an effort, I think. So.
I like when they asked George once if he would ever write songs with Paul again. He goes, I love writing songs with Tom Petty and Bob Dylan, with the Wilburys and everything, but the time has passed for me writing songs with Paul McCartney.
Still these little love songs, yeah. Anyway, and a birthday, Manolo Blahnik, the sexy shoe guy.
Oh.
81 years old.
The trouble I've got in because of him.
Well, I got the $800 pair of Milano Blahniks for a certain person. I can't think now because And by the way, ladies, if your boyfriend or your husband or whoever, your personal guy friend, buys you a pair of really sexy shoes, there's probably a good reason. So don't, give them a bunch of crap or something. How about going along with a program, you freaking... sorry.
Dated this chick, just moved back from New York City, and she was complaining, there's no place in Atlanta that sells Manolo Blahniks or what. I'd never even heard of them. Didn't even know what they were. So I looked and looked and looked, and I found a little boutique place at Phipps Plaza.
Oh, yeah, that sounds
And I took her there.
Yeah.
Another one of these chicks that hated surprises. Tell me. No, it's a surprise. Just shut up. It's a surprise.
God.
And got there, and I walked in the store, and I just pointed to them. And she looked at them, and she goes, well, they're not the style I like.
Oh, God. It's over. Bye-bye.
That's the one that told me she had made out with Liev Schreiber.
Oh, well, there you are. In fact, the Ray Donovan was just marathoned over the weekend.
Yeah,
I saw that
that's
thing.
Great.
Anyway, if he buys his shoes, he wants to see them, try them out. Oh, my God. Ow. What was there? Electric shock? Well, what now? Oh, 550. Flounder got a little something special for us there.
Drew Thomas, that funny black guy.
Oh, I like
and
Drew
he talks
Thomas.
here about living in Atlanta.
Excellent.
It's rough. I live in Atlanta. You think it'd be easy to find somebody in Atlanta. We have every group represented. We got the LGBTQ community. But it's 2022. You can't offend anyone. You can't step on anybody's toes. If you meet somebody in Atlanta that's attractive, you have to say things like, how long have you been a woman? That's a legit question in Atlanta. Like, if you've been doing this for 10, 15 years, I might be okay with it. But if this is your first date, I don't want no parts of this. I could tell you just bought these heels. You really can't walk in them. You still saying things guys say, like race you to the car. Don't no women say race you to the car.
Shotgun,
Can we do a nice thing?
Yeah, please do.
They need food donations for the doggies and kitties at the Henry County Animal Shelter down in McDonough.
Food donations. Keep them alive.
They
keep
want
them alive.
Purina or Pedigree dog chow or small bites or Purina cat chow or kitten chow. And canned cat and kitten food, pate preferred for the cats and everything. But Purina and Pedigree for the doggies at Henry County Animal Shelter, 527 Hampton Road, McDonough, 30253. So if you're down around McDonough, or you know what you can do? It's great. You can go on Amazon and order it and send it
sent there, yeah.
exactly to wherever you want it sent to.
Of course, this being Black Monday, Cyber Monday, whatever they call it, you may not be able to. Well, you can still do it.
You can do it.
I tried to make a couple of phone calls this morning to customer service people to do it. Yeah, thank you. Our wait time is a little longer than normal. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, they also need blankets. If you ever have old blankets or something to give away, all these pet places that the animal shelters, they always need blankets.
God, we got to save the pets. They just have to kill too many.
I know.
This is very, very bad. 5:56. You want to do that TikTok lady? Let's do this. A woman in Pennsylvania. She's a registered nurse. She works hard. Her husband's got jobs. We'll tell about that more in a minute. She went on TikTok, and she just wanted to kind of vent for a second. And all of a sudden, she's gotten like 1.5 million views or a lot more than that by now. Here's what she said about how tough it is to just try to make it in today's world.
We just got paid this past Friday, right?
Got paid.
We paid the mortgage. Bought some groceries. Put some gas in the car. And guys, it is Tuesday. And we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. We don't live in a big house. It's 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in school full time. I work full time. He works more than full time. He works overtime every week. I don't know what to do.
Yeah, she said her husband works overtime every week. She works full time. It's a full time student. Her husband works as a security guard and a personal trainer, and they both also have part time jobs cleaning office buildings. Combined with their role as a registered nurse, she said there's a total of 4 different jobs, and they're not making it. They can't pay the bills. And they're not, they're living in a small house, and it's just, it's a paycheck to paycheck.
Bidenomics.
And by the way, everything is relative, too. One guy commented about her TikTok video, and he said, I make 6 figures, and I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. How in the hell I'm not living beyond my means? It's so depressing. Well, if you start making a couple $100,000 a year, suddenly you buy a house and the mortgage is $5,000 a month. And then suddenly, and then your kid's in private school and you got to buy the kid a car to go to the private. I mean, everything, and you can afford it. But then if something happens, you're screwed. Mm-hmm. And it's, everything is relative. And so the more you have, the more you have to.
And we don't save enough.
Yeah, we don't save enough.
We put too much on credit cards.
That's right.
I learned that lesson.
Oh, well.
To do that. No more.
Yeah, well, I think the worst I ever had, I think the most, and then I got to remember, back in the 70s, you could claim your interest on credit card debt on your taxes.
Oh my God.
Well, no, seriously. So if you paid, $10,000 in interest on your credit cards, you could take it off your tax bill.
That's amazing.
I mean, that was up until like the late 70s or 80s, sometime in the 80s, and all of a sudden they changed that. So, and I remember very clearly, I had a total of, I think the worst I ever owed on my Visa was $54,000.
I owed 18 once. Gosh.
Maybe that was 2. It might have been Visa and might have been 2 of them. Visa and what's the other? MasterCard. But it might have been just Visa. I can't remember. But it's over $50,000. And I eventually paid it off, but it was.
Did Rocco and Moose come over to help you find your wallet?
Yeah, hey, Judge. Anyway, well, Blue Monday, that's one down. We got. Anyway, Flounder and Pete, God bless America. Hoorah, Semper Fi, it's only me. I gotta go, you're killing me. And tomorrow we'll do it all over again. But it's dark.